And a good afternoon to you on AM 1310 WDPN. John Bozica along with you, joined by George Bozica for the 127th season of Mount Union football on the road here to start the season in Ferrum, Virginia. That's right, we drove 6 hours and we're down here to do this season opening game between these two programs. The first time that they will meet in school history for either bunch. And it'll be interesting to see how matchups play out today to begin this season. Another year starting for the Mount Union Purple Raiders, who are ranked 5th nationally coming into this game, 2nd from Lindy's, the publication. And of course, another season where expectations are extremely high. George, we drove the 6 hours. We went through Charleston, West Virginia. We went through some back roads that look like something that Judd Clampett would have been on at some point in his life. And here we are in Virginia, the hills, and a beautiful, beautiful stadium here that they have in Ferrum, and really excited about this one today.
Yeah, I am too. It's a good matchup. See what Ferrum's able to do against the mighty Mount. Ferrum has a first-year head coach in Kevin Sherman, but he has 30 years of experience in coaching, a number of years in D1. They're members of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. They were coming off of a 3-7 season last year, and actually they're looking to move up to D2 in another season. So it should be an interesting one today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all of that plays out and see what they're able to do today against a really, really good opponent like a Mount Union. Obviously, anytime you play Mount, it gives you a firm test of just how good you are. Head coach Jeff Dart enters his 5th season as the head coach of the Purple Raiders, and just incredible what they've done in his 4 years to now. 42-3, including a trip to the national championship just a couple years ago where they lost to North Central. Last year, of course, falling to Alma in round 2 of the playoffs. Kind of an upset at the time that many people didn't expect, especially with all of the pieces that they had back last year, like Braxton Plunk at quarterback and Wayne Ruby on the outside, and the outstanding defensive players Mason McMillan and, of course, Rossi Moore, who does return this year as the Bandit linebacker. But I think that left a taste in Mount Union's mouth in the offseason, thinking, hey, we were shocked last year on our home field, and now here we are going into this season hoping to accomplish more than we did last year and not lose in round 2 of the playoffs at home. And that starts today. The effort today that they set out in game 1 is going to be huge to set the tone for this year.
Yeah, most definitely. That had to be a huge disappointment for them last year. I know that sounds crazy, but when you're Mount and you've won 13 national titles and you normally play in the national title game almost every single season, that's a disappointment to lose in the second round. I mean, probably the most amazing stat is they've won 65 straight regular season games, which is the most in any division in all of college football. Second on the list, who do you think it's second?
It's Georgia, right?
It's Georgia with 39. 39. So just think about that. That's just amazing.
It speaks volumes to the level of play that they've had over the years, and the fact that every year they come into the season with a couple of preseason All-Americans. This year, Rossi Moore, the Bandit linebacker, one of 2 preseason All-Americans, outstanding last season, 22 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks. He ranks 8th all-time in tackles for loss, 7th all-time in school history in sacks. And then the stat that blew me away, if you're a Mount Union fan, is that they've scored in 546 straight games.
Yeah.
So when they inevitably score again today, it'll be the 547th straight game in a row. And what's even more significant about that, folks, is that you have to go all the way back to 1981. The Reagan presidency was when that began.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you're going back a number of decades now. It was Ken Wobble who was the head coach, and it was on November 7th of 1981 against Kenyon that began so many years ago. So what they have done is nothing short of amazing. And, of course, started with Larry Karras. I don't know if you mentioned this, 36 straight season opening wins
Yes,
as well.
Yes, as well. You're correct. Yeah, 36 straight season openers. So, it's hard to beat Mount during the regular season.
It is.
And this team has their entire offensive line back. They have a preseason All-American at tackle and Ben Lilly from Wadsworth. And they have their skill positions are not seasoned veterans, but they've all seen action over the last couple of years. And when they have seen action, they performed well.
The two keys, Mount Union does not return their leading rusher from last year. That was DeAndre Parker.
Right.
Had an outstanding season. However, they do return the second and third leading rushers on the team in Tyler Echeverry and Darnell Williams, who both pieced together really nice years. Between the two of them last year, over 1,300 yards and 17 touchdowns. Those two will undoubtedly be a factor for this team this year. All right, Mount Union going to kick to begin the game. They will go left to right, the away white uniforms with the black pants and the traditional purple helmet with Raiders written on either side. It's Ivan Maric who has it teed up on his own 35. And back deep, Caleb Holland and Nathan Aguilar standing on their own goal line to our right. Maric puts a boot into it, heads towards the near side of the field, and it's going to be fielded on the hop by Holland, and he's wrapped up inside his own 10-yard line, off to our right on the left numbers. Just absolutely blown up by the kick coverage team. It was Ryan Poundstone. If that's not a football name, I don't know what is. The senior linebacker from Ferrum, Ohio, played at Copley in high school, and it's a 1st and 10 for this Ferrum offense that averaged just 16 points per game last year and went 3-7. They have it on their own 10-yard line on the left hash. Quarterback is Zach Wyatt, has a running back on his right hip, who he gives the ball to on first down. It's Jalen Lee, broke one tackle but couldn't get away from the gang tackling from Mount Union on the second, third, and fourth attempts, as Brandon Janssens, the safety, the one leading the tackle, no gain, 2nd down and 10 from their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, Mount's defense just flew to the ball there. There were 3 white jerseys, and he had nowhere to go.
2nd down and 10 from their own 10 in the shotgun. Quick throw right. Pass is caught, and it was to one of the Trips wide receivers right. It was Marquise Woodruff, who is the returning leader in yardage receiving last year. And Woodruff will now come wide left. Inside of him in the slot, Kai Bowers, another wide receiver inside of that. Trips left, and a 3rd down and 4 for Ferrum from their own 16. Quarterback Wyatt in the shotgun, going to run here. Designed run, Wyatt, right sideline to the 30. And brought down in the open field, Brandon Janssens, the safety, the junior, with the tackle, but not before Wyatt's able to pick up enough for the first down on a beautiful gain there of 14 yards.
Yeah, real nice run by Wyatt.
Saw nothing in the pass game and simply pulled the ball down and ran. Aguilar spits wide right. 2 wide receivers come left. 2 running backs in the backfield here with Wyatt on a 1st and 10 from his own 30. Run, sweeping left, Jalen Lee to the left side numbers across the 40-yard line to the 42. Gain of 12. 13-10 opening quarter. Ferrum on the move on their opening drive.
They're going with a speed-up offense here, too. They're not huddling. They're just going right to the line. It looks like they have this scripted almost, John.
Bowers and Woodruff split wide right on a 1st and 10 for Ferrum from their own 42. Wyatt, play action, wants to throw underneath on the screen. Ethan Coates, the tight end, makes the catch, but he's brought down in the open field at his own 43 on the right side hashes. And coming up with the tackle was the safety in John Rowland for Mount Union. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Opening drive of the game for Ferrum here at home in their all-black uniforms with the gold numbering and lettering and the black helmets. They have a 2nd down and 9 from their own 43. In the shotgun is Wyatt. Lee to his left, wants to throw, fires right sideline. Pass is caught on the right numbers near midfield. It was the wide receiver in Nathan Aguilar who came up with the catch wrapped up immediately, though, and a third down and manageable coming up here for Ferrum. Third down, and we'll call it 3 from their own 49. This scripted first drive has looked good. Coates, the tight end, is a wing left side of the line. Running back to the right of the quarterback is Lee. Wyatt gives off to Lee. Lee sweeping around the left end, brought down in the open field. Initially, they thought his knee touched the ground for a loss of 1, and it did. It was Marcus Jackson, the linebacker, who shot through the gap there and made the tackle. And despite a couple of first downs, William Hutton will now come on to punt, the freshman.
Yeah, Ferrum's not going to go for it here. They don't want to give Mount great field position like that.
So first punt of the day for Ferrum. And back deep for Mount Union off to our left. Getting set to return. I'll tell you in a minute here as Hutton kicks this deep and fielded by Mount on their own 10-yard line. Reversing his field is the return man. Left side of the field across the 20-yard line on the left side numbers and brought down in the open field there. Nice return there for Mount Union. And they'll have pretty good starting field position to begin here with a 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line from what I can tell.
Yeah, it's set at the 23, John.
So 1st and 10 for Mount. Boudry in the shotgun. 2 running backs in the backfield with him, both Williams and Echeverry. Echeverry becomes the wing right side, and Darnell Williams will get the give on first down, running over that 5 returning starters on the offensive line, and he gains 2 to his own 25, and that's where he's upended. So a 2nd down and 8 coming up here. Return there, by the way, was Jace Ellis, the sophomore for Mount Union, number 80 on that return. 2nd and 8 for Mount on their own 25. Handoff, sweeping around the right end out of the shotgun was Echeverry, and Boudry's handoff was synced up nicely, but the play was blown up defensively. Coming up was one of the linebackers in Cameron Ross for Ferrum. And a 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 for Mount Union on their own 26. Tyrell Sanders splits wide left to the field. 1 wide receiver to the boundary near set of the field. Boudry on a 3rd down and 7 from his own 26, back to throw on a 3-step drop. Now he rolls right with nothing open. Fires right sideline over the head of his intended target on the Ferrum 45. It was intended for Nick Turner. He had 12 receptions last year and 3 plays and out for Mount Union. Did not look synced up on that drive. 9:35 opening quarter, no score.
No, not at all. So far, I'm impressed with Ferrum. You know, they're holding their own here. I know it's very, very early, and, we got a lot of time left. But, Ferrum's holding their own here early on.
So on to kick it deep, Mike Franklin. Here for the Purple Raiders. He'll stand on his own 13-yard line and punts it from his own 15. Wobbly kick fielded by Justice Dorsett. Dorsett from his own 40 comes to the near side hashes and is brought down in the open field by Jazz Jackson, the linebacker, on kick coverage there.
With that defensive stand that Ferrum had with the 3 and out, they're getting really good field position now at the 41-yard line. See if they can do something here on this second drive.
9:25 opening quarter, no score. Ferrum with their second drive of the game. 1st and 10 from their own 41. Stratton Chevy first down to begin the game. Handoff Lee. Oh, he kept it. Did the quarterback Wyatt, and Wyatt spurts around the left end on the zone read and is tackled in the open field by Rossi Moore. That play would have been blown up if he had decided not to keep the football.
Yeah.
end for Mount Union, and Von Factor read that play perfectly. And it is a second down, and we'll call it 7 for Ferrum from their own 44. In the shotgun is Wyatt, gives off Lee, and Lee brought down by 3 Mount Union tacklers, led by Marcus Jackson, the linebacker, and some of the others, Rossi Moore, late to get up off the bottom of the pile, and Moore now hunched over on the field. You hate to see this for Mount Union. Rossi appears to have simply maybe had the wind knocked out of him, takes his helmet off. He appears okay, but certainly you hate to see that when it's your preseason All-American at bandit linebacker who's the one that's down and hurt. 3rd and 6 coming up for Ferrum from their own 45.
Yeah, they can't afford to lose Rossi. I mean, he's just been an amazing linebacker for them.
Looking for a Stratton Chevy first down here. Mount Union, or Ferrum is, from their own 45. Woodruff, the leading receiving returner from last year, one of the 3 trips out wide right. Lone man out wide left is Aguilar. It's a 3rd down and 6 for Ferrum from their own 45. Wyatt to throw, throws middle. Aguilar, first down. Stratton Chevy first down to the Mount Union 45-yard line. Pickup of 10 with the yellow hanky on the field. And that's picked up. I believe it fell out of the official's pocket, and there is no actual flag on the play.
It was just a nice pitch and catch. Aguilar found a hole in the middle of the zone, and just a nice throw.
So 1st and 10 for Ferrum to the Mount 45. Again, 2 running backs in the backfield in the shotgun. Handoff Lee, sweeping around the left end. Jalen Lee, left sideline, 30. Barrels over a Mount Union defender. Down to near the 28-yard line. That's where he's brought down on the left sideline. Ran through the tackle of the DB back there for Mount Union in Manny Curtis from Twinsburg, the corner. And it's a 1st and 10, another Stratton Chevy first down for Ferrum approaching the red zone. They have it at the Mount 28. Handoff out of the shotgun to the backup tailback from Wyatt. And pretty decent carry here for Ferrum's Caleb Holland, the sophomore running back. Gain of 3 down to the 25 of Mount, 2nd and 7. Wyatt in the shotgun, gives Holland again. Big hole up the middle. Holland to the 20, down to the 10, left side numbers. Stratton Chevy first down again. Down to the 10-yard line of Mount Union, 6:40 in the opening quarter. Ferrum has dominated this opening quarter so far. They have a 1st and goal now at the Mount 10. Wyatt in the shotgun, gives off Holland. Holland right over the right guard and center in Tubbs and Ryder, and gets down to the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 8 of Mount.
Yeah, 2 things right now, John. This hurry-up offense is really giving Mount's defense some trouble because Ferrum is just winning the line of scrimmage right now. They're just, pushing back and getting some good push on every single play, and Mount just is really having trouble. They're going to have to make some adjustments or they're going to have a long afternoon.
2nd and goal from the 8, shotgun for Ferrum. Handoff Lee, sweeping around the left end. In the open field, Von Factor, the defensive end, the one who wraps him up and brings him down for a loss of 1.
Well, there was the adjustment on that play, most certainly.
So 3rd and goal from the 9 coming up here for Ferrum, the 9 of Mount Union. And Wyatt will be in the shotgun. Sean Smith, the running back, on his left hip. On his right hip is Lee. Aguilar in tight. Left side is a wide receiver. And Woodruff, one of the 2 out wide right. Back to throw is Wyatt. Rolls right, still rolls right. Looks back of the end zone for Woodruff. It's over his head and into the woods behind the goalpost to our left. Went for the northeast corner of the end zone, and despite a great drive there, it is stalled. And settling for a field goal here will be the Ferrum Panthers, as Seth Deaton, he is their all-world kicker. He headlines the Ferrum returners with a D3Football.com all-region recognition last season. A 26-yard attempt. Mount nearly jumps early. They keep themselves set. Deaton from the left hash. Snap is good. Spot is good. Kick is up. And the kick by Deaton is good. So the 5:14 mark of the opening quarter. Ferrum 3, Mount Union 0. We'll take a timeout here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. There are several ways to ride SARTA. Pay your fare the way you want. Use our Easy Fare app to get your ticket on the go. Tap to pay with SARTA score and touchdown cards. You can even pay with exact change in cash. The price is right and you can purchase at any of our transit centers. Tickets start as low as $1.50 per ride, or you can get a 30-day pass for $45. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
We return back in here to Ferrum, Virginia, inside the beautiful W.B. Adams Stadium. And with 5:14 in the opening quarter, it is 3-0. Ferrum, after a beautiful drive there that merited them 3 points on Seth Deaton's 26-yard field goal. So Mount Union will be deep to return now off to our left. Darnell Williams, one of two back there, along with Manny Curtis, the other man back deep, standing on their own 10. Deaton puts a full boot into it, and Williams will camp under it from his own 6-yard line. That's where he stops his foot. Williams near sideline 30 to the 35 to the 40, right sideline to the 45 and near midfield. Great return by Darnell Williams to set Mount Union up with a nice field. A 1st and 10 coming up from their own 47-yard line. An offense that went 3 and out in their first drive of the game. We'll see if the focus has been brought back to the offensive side of the football. I obviously thought that Ferrum did some nice things defensively on that opening drive as well. Center and Mason Fortner will come over the football on a 1st and 10 from their own 47. Sims, the tight end in the slot on the far side. Tyrell Sanders, who had 27 receptions, out wide left. 1st and 10 for Mount from their own 47. Back to throw is Boudry. Quick pass, right sideline, caught. Pitch and catch on the timing route goes to the wide receiver and Nick Turner down to the Ferrum 48-yard line. Good for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, Turner caught 12 balls last year for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's one of the returnees.
So 2nd and 5 from the Ferrum 48. Man in motion, left to right across the formation. Boudry out of the gun, keeps on the zone read, fakes out a couple of men. Boudry right side numbers 40, down to the 35 of Ferrum. Brought down in the open field at the Ferrum 34. He was running left. Everything camped out over there and became a rugby scrum, and he went around the scrum to the right and picked up a nice gain of yardage of 13.
Yeah, he did a nice job of cutting back on the play and gaining all that yardage. This looks like a different Mount team from the first couple of series.
Sanders splits wide left here on a 1st and 10 for Mount from the Ferrum 34. They're in the shotgun. Man in motion, handoff Echeverry. Echeverry through the line on the right side over the right guard in Jarrett Burris, and for a minimal gain of 2 to the 32 of Ferrum. 3:45 opening quarter here on AM 1310 WDPN. And Mount Union trailing Ferrum 3-0 if you're just joining us. Nick Turner splits wide right, wide left to the field goes Sanders. Sanders in motion, left to right across the formation. Boudry sticks both hands out up in the air. Hands off counter left. This is Echeverry. Echeverry, left side numbers 10. Down to the 5, left sideline, touchdown. 32 yards by Tyler Echeverry down the left sideline for a Mount Union score. 3:18 in the opening quarter. It's Mount 6 and Ferrum 3 on a beautiful drive that started right around midfield, and they take it in with no problem.
You know, Ferrum came out with a lot of emotion on their first couple of series, and, they were making some things happen, but Mount being Mount, they just stood fast, and now they responded.
Ivan Merrick to attempt the extra point here out of the hold of Mike Franklin. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:18 mark of the opening quarter. We'll take a timeout with Mount leading now 7-3.
For over 80 years, Bonford Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Bonford's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis windshield repair system, just one of the expert repairs from Bonford Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Bonford Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
3:18
to Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
3:18 remains in the opening quarter. 7-3 Mount Union after that scoring drive. And Merrick will kick this deep from the 40. Fair catch called for by return man in Aguilar in his own end zone. And some late pushing and shoving happening after the play between Ferrum and Mount Union. So Ferrum will have a chance here now to take over on their own 25. And in a moment here, I think George is going to get us that drive summary that ended in the touchdown by Tyler Echeverry. If you go to the left side there, it says drive summary. Do you see that?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. The live stats were not loading until just now.
After this play,
Yeah,
we'll get
watch
that
it.
drive summary. So 1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 25, 5 wide. Man in motion, sweeping around the left end on the jet sweep is the wide receiver across the 30-yard line, and a nice gain on 1st down for the wideout who swept around in Caleb Holland there, and a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 for Ferrum on their own 31. Wyatt again in the shotgun from the left hash. 2 wide receivers come wide left. Throws it out Holland in the flat near sideline, and he's brought down. Left side numbers, it's Rossi Moore for a tackle for loss there. His first, I guess, official one you could say of the season. Well, they give it no gain. So a 3rd down and 4 for Ferrum on their own 31. Wyatt will be in the shotgun. 1 wide receiver left is Aguilar. 3 right. Lee in motion out of the backfield. Throws right flat. High of Lee. And he just bats it down with his right hand, preventing what could have been a tragic play there. And it is a quick 3 and out for Ferrum. First couple drives, Ferrum had some momentum. And that was quickly shuttered away by Mount Union. 2:20 opening quarter. And Mount looking like they're about to flex their muscles here in a big way.
Yeah, on that first drive for Mount, it was a 4-play, 53-yard drive, 1:47 used up on the clock. Echeverry with the 32-yard run to finish it off. Merrick with the kick, and it's 7-3 with 2:20 left here in the first quarter.
Jace Ellis back deep to receive this punt. Great spiral kick, and Ellis backtracking to his own 20. That's where he set his feet. Went back to his own 15 now, trying to go to the left sideline. Ellis to the left sideline to his own 25, and that's where he's brought down. So Jace Ellis ran out of bounds left sideline for Mount Union. And it's a 1st and 10 for Mount from their own. Are they going to officially spot this? It was near the 25. It's a 1st and 10 for Mount on their own 27,
Yeah,
after it's
27.
finally spotted by the umpire on the field. So 1st and 10 for Mount, and been a quiet afternoon so far for quarterback in Noah Boudry. But he has a 1st and 10 here from his own 27 with Darnell Williams to his left in the shotgun. Boudry back to throw. Might take a deep shot here. Throws middle for Williams. Williams, who is quick in open field, gets to the 30. Williams cuts it up middle of the field in between the hashes near the 35 and gets to his own 34-yard line for a nice gain of 7 yards. 2nd down and 3 upcoming.
Yeah, he was looking deep there, and then he threw underneath, as you said, John, for a nice gain to Williams.
Had Matt Lucido, the wide receiver, streaking down the far sideline and didn't see him. 2 wide receivers split wide left. One comes right. That's Nick Turner. And behind Boudry in the pistol on a 2nd and 3 from his own 34 is Williams. Boudry fumbles the snap, keeps it though, runs left, and Boudry brought down after a 2-yard gain to his own 36 on the left side hashes.
Yeah, I think he would have made a bigger gain there if it hadn't been for the fumble. It sort of threw off the timing of the play completely.
In comes 2 tight ends, Matt Anderson as well as Drew Sims form out with 55 seconds remaining in the opening quarter and a 7-3 Mount lead. Splitting wide left is Turner, wide right goes Sanders. Double tight on the line, Williams to the right of Boudry on the 3rd and 1. Boudry runs right the whole way. Boudry cuts it up and in. Boudry into Ferrum territory to the 45 to the 40. Right numbers near the 35-yard line. Knee went down at the 39. Boudry stopped there initially, broke through what was a stoppage, and then was able to carry it for a nice gain.
Yeah, that was a hard run for Boudry, but also what contributed to the gain was the fact that there was some really poor tackling by Ferrum.
Boudry so far just 2 for 3, passing the football for just 12 yards, but has been effective with his legs a couple times, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. End of 1, pretty good ball game through 1. It's Mount Union 7 and Ferrum 3, but Mount Union is on the move. We'll take this time out on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hello, Purple Raider fans. Chuck Moore here, former Mount Union running back, 4-time national champion, and 2001 Gagliardi Trophy winner. Are you facing some major financial events, things like retirement, marriage, divorce, or selling a business? We at Markham Wealth understand, and we can help. Call 330-564-8590 or visit www.markhamwealth.com for a free consultation.
Neither tailored services nor the background of your financial professional should be construed as a guarantee of a particular outcome. Past performance does not guarantee future results. All investing comes with risk, including risk of loss. Markham Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Live from Ferrum, Virginia, a 6-hour drive from the beautiful confines in Alliance, and Mount Union leads after 1, 7-3 here at WB Adams Stadium on the campus of Ferrum. And starting the second quarter, Mount has a 1st and 10 going right to left in the white tops and black pants in the shotgun from the Ferrum 39. Boudry wants to throw, fires right sideline on a beautiful pass, and Sanders with the catch across the 25-yard line and actually stepped out at the 27. Looked like he turned it upfield to the 24, but his right foot went out at the 27, so they gained 12, and Boudry continues to be effective now, 2 for 3, now 3 for 4 through the air. So 1st and 10 for Mount. Stratton Chevrolet 1st down to the Ferrum 27. Echeverry to his left, Williams to his right. Hand off Echeverry, right sideline to the 25 and near the 20-yard line as he split around the right tackle there in Ben Lilly, the preseason All-American. And it will be a pickup of 7 down to the 20-yard line, but a flag is down. Seems to be in the vicinity of a hold. It's a face mask, actually, on Mount Union. It's a personal foul variety as well, so 15-yard penalty from the Ferrum 27, and that will back Mount up all the way to the Ferrum 42, if I'm correct. It will. 4:17, opening half. Mount 7, Ferrum 3. Ferrum scored to begin the game on a field goal by Deaton, their kicker. Mount responded with a 32-yard touchdown run by Echeverry. And now it's a 1st and 25 for Mount from the Ferrum 42. Boudry in the pistol with 2 wide receivers either way. Jerry Cooper, the wide receiver in motion. Handoff Darnell Williams. Breaks a tackle. Williams, who dances a lot, runs forward to the right side numbers down to the 39 of Ferrum for a gain of 3. They actually give him to the 38 on a gain of 4. And it brings up a 2nd down and 21. 2nd and 21 from the Ferrum 38. Mount Union's been very patient offensively in this game. They went 3 and out on their first possession and really struggled, but since then they've had a better rhythm. But a personal foul face mask has backed them up on this drive. 2 wide receivers in tight left and 2 wide receivers in tight right. And back to throw is Boudry. Fires right sideline. Man is wide open. It's Nick Turner down inside the 20 near the 15-yard line. Turner found a spot in the zone on the post corner route. And it's a beautiful pickup of 22 yards on a Stratton Chevy first down to the Ferrum 16. Mount going to go hurry up too. They'll flip trips left here. Turner will be the lone wide receiver right. Throw left by Boudry. It's Cooper. Cooper left sideline 10 to the 5. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown. But a flag is down at the 15-yard line.
To see if this is going to come back. That was a beautiful run for that touchdown by
Cooper.
He put his head down around the 2-yard line because there was one defender between him and the goal line, and he just ran through him.
Hold on the offense. So Mount Union will be coming back. Whereas Ferrum stopped Mount on that opening drive, Mount has seemed almost unstoppable since then. But the hold going to slow things down here a bit. And it becomes a 1st down and 19 from the Ferrum 25. 3 wide receivers right. Cooper, Jace Ellis, and Tyrell Sanders. Splitting wide left is Nick Turner on the 1st and 19. In the shotgun is Boudry. Williams to his left. Boudry wants to throw, rolls left. Now sets his feet, throws left sideline. Williams, did he make that catch? Oh, he did. Inside the 15, he tiptoed his 2 feet to the 11-yard line and made an outstanding catch. Williams is only 5'7", and he had to high point the football on the left sideline. That was an outstanding play on a nice pickup of 14.
Yeah, Boudry did a really nice job of keeping the play open. He kept running around, and finally Williams sort of freelance, found an opening. And as you said, John, he did a really nice job of tapping both feet down in bounds.
2nd and 6 for Mount from the Ferrum 11. Handoff Williams sweeping right out of the shotgun and brought down inside the 10 at the 8 in between the hashes. And that's good for a gain of 3. Brings up a 3rd down and 1 from the Ferrum 8. Actually, they'll call it a 3rd down and 2 from the Ferrum 8 from out. Sims and Anderson, the 2 tight ends on the right side of the line. Sanders and Turner out wide left. Boudry throws left at Sanders. Left sideline, 5 to the pylon. Touchdown! An 8-yard touchdown pass on a little screenplay in the flat. And Sanders rushes in down the left sideline for Mount Union's 2nd score of the game. 11-16 in the 2nd quarter. And it's Mount 13 and Ferrum 3 on 13 unanswered by the Purple Raiders.
Again, John Sanders caught the ball, the screen pass. There were 2 defenders between him and the goal line. He just ran through them. He ran hard, and there was no good chance they were going to be able to stop him. He was just, a freight train going in there on that play.
Merrick's extra point on the way, and the kick is up, and it is good. So, 11-16 here in the 2nd quarter, and it is Mount Union 14 and Ferrum 3. We'll take this timeout.
Hey, man, good to see you. What brings you out here today? Need to pick up a few tools. You? I need new kitchen cabinets, countertops, maybe even a whole new kitchen, but I can't get any help or find what I need in this place. You need to go to Robertson's for that. Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery is an American Standard plumbing registered showroom, and their knowledgeable consultants have the training and expertise to actually help you get what you need without breaking your budget.
Visit Robertson Kitchen and Bath at 2155 West Main Street in the Alliance Industrial Park, or visit them online at robertsonkitchenandbath.com, where amazing meets affordable.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
11-16 in the second quarter, and Mount Union adds another score, leading 14-3. George.
The live stats, again, don't have the number of plays and don't have the number of yards.
But what was the play that it scored on?
It was a Noah Beaudry completion to Tyrell Sanders for 8 yards. Myrick with the kick at 11-16 in the second quarter. Now 14-3.
Merrick's kick deep here, fielded by Aguilar inside his own 10. Aguilar with a seam. Aguilar near midfield to the 40-yard line on the right side, hashes and brought down as he stumbles forward to his own 46-yard line. As beautiful play there by Noah Aguilar to make something happen for the Ferrum Panthers. So 1st and 10 to the 43 is where they actually spotted his foot down. And a 1st and 10 there for the Ferrum Panthers, who are in the shotgun. Handoff Lee right up the middle. Jalen Lee, big hole past the 45 of Mount and near the 40-yard line. Well, Ferrum has adjusted again. Nice gain there on first down. They have a Stratton Chevy first down to the Mount 40. They've moved the football in this first half.
They have.
1st and 10 to the Mount 40. They're in the shotgun on the right hash. Handoff Lee. Lee stopped that time for a 0-yard gain as he had absolutely nowhere to go. So coming up here, next play, a 2nd down and 10 for Ferrum from the Mount 40. Shotgun again for Wyatt. Lee to his left. He's back to throw. Pressure coming from the backside. Wyatt eludes it. Right sideline near the 30-yard line. Man, did a great job there getting past the pressure. Had a defender chasing him down from the backside in Von Factor, and he almost had him. But with a great play there was Wyatt. And a nice gain down to the Mount 34-yard line. And Von Factor, the outstanding returner off the defensive line, is down now. And he's hurt on the field, it appears. He really had to chase down the quarterback there in Wyatt. But here it is again. Ferrum on the move with 9:54 here in the second quarter. Down 14-3, and with a touchdown here, they could make this a single-score game. And Von Factor, again, 12 tackles for loss last year, 7.5 sacks. And him being injured for any moment in time is a loss for Mount Union's defensive front.
John, we can go back to that second drive for Mount now. It was an 11-play, 73-yard drive, and Mount used up 5:49 on the clock. As I said earlier, it was a Beaudry pass to Sanders for 8 yards, and then the Myrick kick to give Mount the current 14-3 lead. We've been having some conductivity issues here with our live stats, and that's why it's been sort of on and off here stat-wise, but I think we got a good connection now.
3rd and 4 for Ferrum from the Mount 34. Throw right out of the shotgun, goes to Lee. He was the back coming out of the backfield, and he caught it on the right sideline on the Mount 30-yard line, and it's good for a first down. Generous spot there as Lee appeared to go out maybe short, but it's going to be a 1st and 10 on a Stratton Chevrolet first down for the Ferrum Panthers. They have it on the Mount 30 now, and they continue to move this drive down the field. Quinn Parks, the wide receiver, out wide right. Wide left goes the other wide receiver in Jamarice Holland. In the shotgun with two backs is Wyatt. He gives off to Sean Smith, the back to his left, and Smith gains a generous 2 yards over the right hashes down to the 28-yard line of Mount.
You know, John, you said earlier that Ferrum has moved the ball well. They have 7 first downs right now to Mount's 6, but all the movement has been between the red zones. Mount has really toughened up once they get inside the red zone.
2nd and 8 for Ferrum on the Mount 28. Aguilar wide right. They're in the shotgun. Play action. Throw right. Beautiful play here. It goes to Smith. Smith barrels over a defender down to the Mount 20-yard line as he ran through the tackles there of both Rossi Moore and the DB who was down there covering for Mount, which was Manny Curtis. And there's now a question of where this penalty is going to go that's down. Ferrum seems to think it's going to go on Mount, which if it does, that's extremely significant here with Ferrum approaching the red zone. Targeting. Oh, my goodness.
Personal foul, targeting. Anyone who uses it.
So Rossi Moore is the player who the targeting is on. He has been ejected from the game.
That's just a crazy, crazy turn of events.
8:31 in the second quarter. It's a targeting call, and it moves the ball down to the 10-yard line now of Mount. That is wild. Rossi Moore, the preseason All-American, is gone from the game, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. 1st and goal at the Mount 10. Ferrum on the QB keep left side. It's Wyatt, and he gets down to the 6-yard line on the left side numbers. Great open field tackle made by John Rowland there, the safety who came up and made that play.
Again, for the second time today, Mount tackled the fake man on that zone read, and Wyatt then just had a wide open field.
2nd and goal from the 6. Handoff goes to Holland, and Holland eaten up at the line for no game. Big Garrett Kramer, the 6-foot nose guard at 280 pounds, swallowed him up there. And a 3rd and goal from the 7 of Mount here for Ferrum. Big play after that targeting call and the ejection of Rossi Moore. You would love to see, if you're Ferrum here, you'd love to see a score and get the points. They have a 3rd and goal at the 7 of Mount. Back to throw is Wyatt. Looks left, throws left in the end zone, passes incomplete. Aguilar says he brought it in the middle of the end zone. He ran that little curl over the middle of the field, and he was not able to catch it. And for the second time, Ferrum gets into the red zone, and they will have to settle for 3 points instead of 7.
Yeah, Aguilar was wide open. I mean, absolutely wide open. Wyatt threw it too low, and instead of making the catch, he trapped it off the ground. The officials were right there. It was a good call.
Coach Kevin Sherman having a spirited word with his quarterback, his junior, and Zach Wyatt. And this attempt on the field goal will be a 24-yarder for the kicker in Seth Deaton. Again, good snap, good spot. Kick is up, and Deaton's kick is pure as can be. Reason why he earned the recognition last year as an all-region kicker in D3Football.com. Big development, though, is that Rossi Moore for Mount Union has been thrown out due to targeting halfway through the second quarter. And halfway through the second quarter, it's Mount 14 and Ferrum 6. We'll take this 30-second timeout.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Sure, we're all about Stark County, but did you know we have express fixed routes to Akron and Cleveland? Just take Route 81, that's Akron, or Route 4 to Cleveland. Shop, eat, sightsee, catch a game, or visit that other Hall of Fame. We also take veterans to their Wade Park appointments for free. Plan your next trip to Akron or Cleveland, and SARTA will get you there. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
7:21, second quarter. Mount Union leading 14-6 over Ferrum. And again, the big development in the game is that Mount Union's All-American, the preseason All-American in Rossi Moore, has been ejected from the game due to a targeting call. And Ferrum, trailing just 14-6, has hung tough with Mount to this point in the game. Mount, though, has seemed to be able to move the ball at will since early jitters offensively. And Deaton will kick this deep now from his own 35. Deaton angles it towards the left side of the field. That's where it's fielded by Darnell Williams inside his own 10. Williams to the 30, to the 40, to the 45, right numbers across midfield. Darnell Williams continues to be a game breaker. Williams down to the Ferrum 45 on the return. What a beautiful return by Darnell Williams. He's already made great plays catching the ball and running with the football, and he continues to make plays returning the football on special teams as well.
Yeah, he just showed his speed going up that sideline. I thought he was going to break it at one point, but eventually Ferrum caught up with him.
So 1st and 10 to the Ferrum 45 for Mount Union. We'll see if Mount maybe takes a shot here on first down. 1st and 10 to the 45. In tight right as the wide receiver is Sanders. In tight left is Turner. Running back behind Boudry is Echeverry. And Boudry wants to take a shot. Nothing was open deep. Now he scrambles left. Now he's going to keep looking downfield. Now he's going to run. Left side numbers to the 45 and to the 41-yard line with a late flag coming in from behind the play. Came in from the back judge, and it was thrown towards the Mount Union offensive line. And we're going to see where this is going to go. Drew Sims, the tight end, having to be held back by his teammates, his Mount teammates, as he's frustrated over something. There's been some chippiness on the field down there.
Well, and I think the ejection of Rossi Moore doesn't help the situation from Mount player standpoint.
No, it definitely has them frustrated.
Yes, very frustrated. And I think this is some frustration here. Oh, okay.
So it's on the defense. I thought it was on the defense.
Yeah. I wasn't sure because he was looking over at the Mount players that were gathered there, and I thought that was why they had that frustration.
So block below the waist is the call on Ferrum's defense. And it goes on Malachi Cosby. So 1st and 10 to the 26. A Stratton Chevy first down via the penalty to the 26 of Ferrum. Boudry in the shotgun. Sanders out wide right. Boudry gives off Echeverry. Echeverry middle of the field. Down to the 15 and near the 10-yard line. Splitting between the hash marks for a beautiful gain. A gain of 14 down to the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 into the red zone on another Stratton Chevrolet first down. Cooper in the slot on the far side. Out wide goes Sanders. Turner alone near side. Out wide left. Man in motion is Cooper across the formation, keeping his Boudry. Zone read. Right side numbers 10. Spins at the 5 and dives into the end zone. Noah Boudry, the junior quarterback, at 6 foot with an unbelievable show of athleticism in the opening field. And at the 6:07 mark of the second quarter, it's Mount 20 and Ferrum 6. Since a 3-0 Ferrum lead, Mount has outscored them now 20-3.
You know, once Mount get that ball rolling downhill, they're just really hard to stop. And that's what's happening right now is they got off to that slow start, but now they're starting to find their way. And, you know, whereas early on it looked like Ferrum was going to give them some difficulty, it doesn't look that way right now. Ferrum, as we've said, has moved the ball really well between the 10-yard lines, but beyond that, they've had to settle for 2 field goals.
Boudry has 4 attempts now for 43 yards and a touchdown. And that 12-yard touchdown, a huge game breaker again for Mount. 6:07 second quarter. It's Mount 21 and Ferrum 6. We'll keep it here and get a break here again in a bit, but we'll keep it here for now. Halftime, we'll have the news from the WDPN newsroom, and George will have stats for you, and we will also have some highlights for you from the first half as well, thanks to our excellent producer. Producer 1, if you will. If you're a fantasy football fan, it's like QB1, RB1. Our producer 1 is Ryan Rainsberg. He's the best there is. All right, Merrick will kick this deep from the 35, and Aguilar and Holland again back deep to our left for Ferrum in the all-black uniforms. And short kick by Merrick, and fielded on a fair catch. It was called for by Holland on the left side numbers on his own 20-yard line. And I think he feels like after he called for the fair catch, he made a mistake, because then he was like, well, now I want to run with the football. But he couldn't do that. So 1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 25. They're playing Hot to Go right now. The band is by Chapel Roan, and I'm laughing at it. You want to hear that, by the way, you can listen to our FM station, Q92. We're playing it there. 1st and 10 for Ferrum in the shotgun on their own 25 after the fair catch. Quick throw right. Woodruff makes the catch in the flat. He was one of the trips out wide right and caught it on the right numbers and was brought down for a loss of 1. No Rossi Moore in there defensively. Other guys are going to have to step up, and John Klump with a nice tackle there in the open field for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 for Ferrum on their own 24. Wyatt in the shotgun with 4 wide. Back to throw, looks to step up, pressure all over the place. Fires at right sideline, didn't get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. That's just clear as day.
Incomplete.
And question here of whether we're going to have a flag for intentional grounding, and we will.
John, on that drive summary for Mount Union, it was 3 plays, 45 yards, used up a minute 6. Beaudry with a 12-yard touchdown run, kick from Merrick for the 21-6 current lead.
Intentional grounding, loss of down, and now Ferrum has a 3rd down, and they could go to Alliance to convert this.
John, do you ever notice that anytime there's an intentional grounding call, there's always a delay, and the officials have to sit there and talk about it and think about it and decide? I mean, that seemed to be, pretty clear from up here.
3rd down and 31 for Ferrum from their own 4. And simply going to hand it off here to Lee is Wyatt. And Lee gains 6 yards to his own 10. But that is 25 yards shy of the first down marker. And despite a good effort by Lee over the right guard there, it's not going to be enough. So, punting situation, and Mount Union flexing their muscles now at the 5-minute mark of the second quarter, leading 21-6, looking to add to it.
And they're going to get great field position here.
William Hutton on to kick this deep, and Jace Ellis will be back deep to field it for Mount at around his own 45-yard line, where he backtracks. Now he runs under it, and he's put into a tough spot here on the left sideline. He's able to make something happen on the left sideline and get up to his own 43.
The Ferrum punter got off just a great kick there, and I think that's why Mount had such a difficult time fielding that punt, because it was over his head. He fumbled it, as you said, John, the first time. Then finally he got grabbed about it. And, he did a really, really good job of not taking a huge loss there and getting it back to the 43-yard line. He could have been tackled on the other side of the 40 very easily if he wasn't heads up and did a nice job of getting the ball upfield.
So 1st and 10 for Mount on their own 43. And in the shotgun is Noah Beaudry. Turner splits wide left. That's the boundary. Sims in motion. Back to throw is Beaudry. Rolls right. Throws Williams in the open field. Right side numbers at his own 43, and he's brought down there. 4:20 in the second quarter. Clock runs. Mount 21. Ferrum 6. Ferrum has certainly hung tough, a team that was 3-7 last year, and first-year head coach Kevin Sherman has to like the effort that he's seen out of his guys here in this opening week of the season so far. But Mount in a position here with a score that they could almost put this thing out of reach. 2nd and 10 for Mount in the shotgun on their own 43. Boudry back to throw. Deep shot, left sideline. Running free is Turner, and a lot of contact and no flag outside the left numbers on the Ferrum 20-yard line. Running step for step there with Chase Blaker, the DB who was down there. And Blaker, the cornerback from Narrows, Virginia, made a nice play.
You know, John, I've gotten used to just watching, games and interference calls. Usually if the defender doesn't turn around, they usually call interference. Blaker did not turn around there. He was basically facing the receiver, and I thought that could have easily been an interference call.
3rd and 10 for Mount in the shotgun on their own 43. Boudry rolls right, pressure in his face, throws right sideline and throws it out of bounds. Nowhere to go, and Boudry wisely threw it away. He had Sanders open on the right sideline down on the Ferrum 42, but could not make the play. So Ferrum continuing to hang around because now they're thinking 3:36 in the first half. We're down 21-6, and with a score here, we could make this a game.
Yeah, they could. The big problem with Ferrum all day has been they haven't been able to finish. They've had to settle for field goals on both drives. Obviously, they have a great field goal kicker, but they haven't been able to get the ball into the end zone.
Mike Franklin's kick here coming from the 32. High end-over-end kick going to bounce inside the 15 and down at the Ferrum 10 on the left side hashes by Mount Union. Outstanding punt by Mike Franklin, and never a chance to return by Justice Dorsett. By the way, wanted to give this correction. It's been Tyler May who's been back deep to return for Mount. He's wearing the number 80 today, so I've been giving Jace Ellis the credit, but it's actually been Tyler May. There was a jersey change on us, and we were not notified by the sports information department by either schools. Although Gary Holden, sports information director here, has been the most hospitable possible. 1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 10. Back to throw is Wyatt. Oh, he fumbles the football inside his own 5, and it's fallen on by Mount Union. On the 4-yard line of Ferrum, he fumbled the football, and it was fallen on by Mount Union's Brandon Bowden, the junior defensive lineman from Gainesville, Florida, and Mount's going to have a 1st and goal at the 5 of Ferrum.
John, he was in almost immediate trouble as soon as he faded back. I mean, they were in on him. He tried to move out of the way, and moving out of the way, the ball fell out of his hand and the fumble. I mean, this couldn't be a worse situation for Ferrum right now, in a situation where they got the big stop on defense and looked like they had a chance to do something, and now Mount has a very, very short field.
Sims, the tight end on the right side of the line, and Matt Anderson, the tight end on the left side of the line. Out wide left, 2 wide receivers come Sanders and Turner. 1st and goal from the 5. Handoff Darnell Williams. Right side hashes. Williams pushing the pile forward down to the 2. Stopped at the 2. 2nd and goal coming up at the 2 of Ferrum. 3:04 clock run, 2nd quarter. 21-6, the Mount Union lead, and they're on the doorstep after a turnover. The pressure provided on that play, by the way, by the defensive end, Caleb Brown, the junior who had 9 sacks last year. He was the one who caused the issues there for the quarterback and Wyatt that set up this short field for Mount. They now have a 2nd and goal at the Ferrum 2. 2 tight ends left on the line, Sims and Anderson. Pistol, Williams behind Boudry. Handoff, Darnell Williams. Stopped again short. Down to the 1. Ferrum says, we're going to make you work for every inch here if you're Mount Union. 2:23 clock run, 2nd quarter. And Mount leads 21-6, but Ferrum making them work here deep in Ferrum territory. Mount's got to snap it on 3rd down. I didn't think they would have to do that.
I didn't think they would either.
3rd and goal coming up at the 1. Sanders wide right. Turner wide left. Williams in the backfield with Boudry, and before that, whistles and a timeout at the 2-minute mark of the second quarter.
John, Mount's leading rushers today have been Echeverry with 4 carries for 49 yards and Boudry with 4 carries for 43 yards. Boudry also has 7 completions out of 10 attempts for 68 yards and a touchdown.
I believe this is something that's been instituted this year in college football. I think this is the new 2-minute warning that they've instituted in college football because it's exactly 2 minutes, and I didn't see either team take a timeout.
Yeah, I didn't either.
By the way, George and I doing this game, but 2 weeks from now at Mount, you'll hear the familiar voice of Sam Berkwin doing play-by-play, and I will have color commentary for the remainder of the season. So there might be another game or two in there where we have to pinch hit in some way, but WDPN, of course, your home for Mount Union football every single season. 3rd and goal coming up for Mount, up 21-6 at the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. They have it at the Ferrum 1. Boudry going to be in the shotgun. Tight end on the left side of the line is Anderson. Sims on the right side. Sanders out wide right. Turner out wide left. Boudry with Williams to his left on the 3rd and goal from the 1. Boudry keeps and walks in. Down the left side, hashes a 1-yard scamper by Noah Boudry. 2nd rushing touchdown of the very young 2024 season for the junior quarterback. And it's Mount 27 and Ferrum 6 at the 1:55 mark of the second quarter.
That was a nice zone read by Boudry. He faked the ball to Williams going into the line. Williams would have been stopped if he had handed him the ball, and then he just went around the end and he easily, he just basically stepped into the end zone and walked in. It was really a good zone read by him. He's done a really nice job. He's a good game manager.
Very good. After Plunk was kind of a stat stuffer, Boudry, a little bit different style quarterback as Merrick's extra point is good. 1:55, second quarter. It is Mount 28 and Ferrum 6. Timeout on AM 1310 WDPN.
For over 80 years, Bonford Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Bonford's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis windshield repair system, just one of the expert repairs from Bonford Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Bonford Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Merrick kicks it deep from the 35. Holland with the return for Ferrum across the 30 on the left side numbers, and a player thrown out of bounds very, very late for Mount Union on the return team. And he is down and writhing in pain on the far sideline. Is the returner who was trying to help on the block there was Ryan Poundstone, the linebacker, who's down and hurt. He's one of the, gunners up front who tries to help to create blocking. And I can only assume this is going to go against Ferrum for a late push out of bounds. Poundstone really seems to be in pain. I beg your pardon, he's a gunner trying to get down there. My brain is not quite working today at times. I don't know if the 6-hour drive could have something to do with that. So 15-yard penalty on an unsportsmanlike on Ferrum. And
Ferrum takes over with a first down on the 17.
Davon Simpkins, the one who was responsible. So 1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 17 on the left hash. Wyatt in the shotgun. Gives off on first down. Holland sweeping around right. Outside the right numbers to his own 21. He went down at the 20. Brought down in the open field nicely by Weston Arthur, the linebacker, the junior from Mount. 2nd down and 9 for Ferrum with 1:20 in the second quarter and the clock running. And Mount leading 28-6, and Wyatt in the shotgun. High snap, brings it in, gives it off. Holland, and he loses yardage as Caleb Brown, the defensive end who had 13.5 tackles for loss last year, the one who gives him a bear hug, and with 65 seconds in the first half, Mount takes a timeout. Coach Jeff Dart says, we're only up 28-6. That's not enough. So they take a timeout. George, that drive
Yeah,
summary.
on the drive summary to give them that 28-6 lead, it was 3 plays, 5 yards, minute 25 used up on the clock. Noah Beaudry with the 1-yard run, Merrick with the kick, and as we said, 28-6. And as you said, John, they could see the ball one more time, and Mount can move the ball fast.
We will have a brief ceremony on mental health awareness, sponsored by the Piedmont Community Services and Ferrum College's Social Work Club. Also at the half, we invite you to stick around as the Ferrum Marching Band will perform.
Beautiful campus here at Ferrum.
Yeah, very picturesque.
Yeah, tucked in the mountains.
Yeah.
What mountains did you? Are these
I think it's Blue Ridge. Yeah.
Blue Ridge Mountains?
Yeah.
Past the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah. It was actually a beautiful drive, just a really winding road. I mean, one of the most winding roads I've ever seen.
2nd and 9 for Ferrum from their own 19. Screen set up Holland. Holland wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and again, it was the linebacker in John Klump who came up and made the tackle for no gain. Flag is down, and
3 flags down.
Oh, wow. There's one in the defensive backfield, too. I didn't see that.
You know, this officiating crew has not been shy about pulling that yellow flag all day.
So penalties offset, illegal substitution on Mount, too many guys on the field, and holding on Ferrum. So as was said by the official, will offset.
That's why Ferrum had the hold.
Yeah, they did. Good point. 3rd down and 9 for Ferrum on their own 19. 2 wide receivers left, 2 right. Handoff Holland. Holland, a nice push through the line initially, but then those active linebackers of Jazz Jackson and John Klump gang tackle, and it was a nice 4-yard gain, but it is a 4th and 5 for Ferrum on their own 24-yard line. 48 seconds left. Mount takes another timeout, leading 28-6, looking to add to what is already a 3-touchdown advantage of 22 points.
So, John, if you're Mount right here, do you bring the house here and try to get the block, or do you just set up for a return?
I think they have so much in the arsenal that they could probably just set up for the return and just hope to throw a couple of passes. I mean, they really have not tested Ferrum deep.
No, except for those first couple of drives. Ferrum has really not stopped them.
No.
Ferrum,
I mean, the first drive seemed like nerves at this point.
Yeah, I think in retrospect it was nerves on Mount's. And I think Ferrum just came in with a lot of emotion, being their home opener. You know, they were playing with a lot of emotion there in that early part of that first quarter.
Hutton will kick this deep from his own 10 off to our left on the 4th down for Ferrum. From their own 24, it's a 4th and 5. 48 seconds left. Tyler May back deep to field it. Some pressure being brought. Great spiral kick. May from his own 26. Tyler May, the graduate student, going to try to make something happen to the right sideline. To his own 35, and jukes out of bounds at his own 35. So, 1st and 10 from Mount from their own 35. Up 28-6, 35 seconds remain in the first half. they'll look to see if they can add to what has already been a great first half offensively. Noah Boudry 7 for 10 through the air so far. And receiving the leader in the game, Nick Turner, so far with just the 2 receptions for 27 yards. 1st and 10 here for Boudry and company on their own 35. They're in the shotgun with 4 wide. Boudry back to throw. Fires middle. Man is open. It's Cooper. Cooper across the 40 of Ferrum. Near the 35-yard line. Still pushing the pile. Mount coming up from behind. Offensive lineman Giovanni Kennedy getting in there to scrum the pile forward. 1st and 10 to the Ferrum 35-yard line. They pick up 30 on a Stratton Chevy first down.
We said
Boudry
earlier,
under center. He spikes the ball. 2nd and 10 coming up from the Ferrum 35.
we said earlier on a play that was called back because of a penalty, actually a touchdown that was called back because of a penalty. Cooper really runs hard. I mean, he got the ball. He was wide open in the middle, and then he got the ball, and he just runs over people. I mean, he is just a hard runner.
Cooper, May, and Turner out wide right. Sanders alone out wide left on a 2nd and 10 from the Ferrum 35. Echeverry to the left of Boudry, who's back to throw. All kinds of time. Steps up and rolls right. Now he's going to try to run. Gets to the right sideline to the 30 of Ferrum, and that's where a late flag comes in with 10 seconds left in the first half. Question of where the flag will go.
Well, it was right there, and I didn't see anything, so I'm trying to figure out what they're calling this time.
Jeff Dart rips his headset off. And he's frustrated because it's a personal foul against Mount Union. And I believe it's going to go on Nick Turner. And he was frustrated. Blindside block on Nick Turner. I did not see anything in that variety, but
I didn't see anything either.
Going to be a 15-yard penalty. And now with 10 seconds left in the half, Mount going to have a 2nd down and 21, I believe.
21, yep.
From the Ferrum 46. 10 seconds remain in the half. Mount with 1 timeout remaining, but they need to go 46 yards here in 10 seconds. And Boudry will be in the shotgun. Cooper, May, Sanders, the 3 wide receivers wide left to the field. To the boundary out wide right goes Turner. And Echeverry in the backfield here with the quarterback in Boudry to his right. Back to throw is Boudry. Fires left sideline. Sanders can't bring it in on the left side numbers on the 35 of Ferrum. So 5 seconds remain in the first half, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 21 from the Ferrum 46 for Mount Union. Hail Mary time for Noah Boudry. Chance to add to the lore of great Hail Mary plays in Mount Union history, most notably a couple years ago, the Mount Union Miracle up at Baldwin Wallace that Wayne Ruby caught. 3rd and 21 for Mount at the Ferrum 46. Boudry quickly throws right, and 1 second remains. Well, they ran off the final second, and there should be 1 second remaining as Cooper got down to the 40. I think they simply tried to put this in field goal range for Merrick because now they're going to march out the field goal team. There should be a second remaining.
Well, and the official time's on the field with the officials because the officials haven't told anybody to leave the field yet. He's getting ready to place the ball right there around the 40-yard line. Well, now they are looking to leave the field. But Mount's staying on the field here. They're not ready to leave, but Ferrum's running off the field already.
It was very clear that he was out with a second left. And Jeff Dart has made his way all the way out to midfield, screaming at the officials along with his assistants. And they're trying to have a word about this, and they're saying there should be 1 second left. Jeff Dart's still screaming about this with the officials. And Coach Kevin Sherman got out of town quickly. He took his team and he said, let's go into the locker room. Now Coach Sherman is out at midfield, and he's having a spirited discussion about something. Mount had the field goal team ready. It would have been a very long kick. And I don't know, are we going to bring everything back out here?
No, I think that's it. The officials are walking off the field also. I think that's a frustration that's built up through the whole half with Rossi Moore being tossed. These officials, and I'm not criticizing the officials. The officials have just called a very tight game, and I just think Jeff Dart is a little frustrated right now. As you said, John, there should have been a second. They should have had the field goal attempt.
So we're to halftime here at Ferrum, and through a half, it is Mount Union 28 and Ferrum 6 here on AM 1310 WDPN in Alliance. George, your quick first half thoughts before we get to a break.
Well, I think it was two things. Mount Union got off to a really, really slow start, as we said. I think that Ferrum came out with a lot of emotion, and they showed it in the first couple of drives. As the game went on, Ferrum just hasn't been able to finish. They've moved the ball between the 10s. They had to settle for 2 field goals by their excellent field goal kicker, 83% of his field goals last year, and he's 2 for 2 already this year. And, Mount finally got it going. And when Mount gets it going, I said it's like a ball going downhill. I mean, they are really, really tough to stop. And, once they got it going and once they calmed down a little bit, they've been tough to stop, and they've been impressive.
So we're to the halftime break, and at the half, it is the Mount Union Purple Raiders 28 and Ferrum 6. We'll take a time out here on AM 1310 WDPN. For George Bozica, I'm John Bozica. Of course, our producer back at the studio, Ryan Rainsberg, standing by. We'll have the halftime news from the WDPN newsroom, and when we return after that, we'll have halftime stats and the first half highlights. Again, halftime, Mount Union 28, Ferrum 6. Timeout.
Visit Carnation Optical at 75 Glamorgan Street, across from the Glamorgan Castle, right here in Alliance, formerly in the Carnation Mall. Carnation Optical is locally owned and operated since 1983, with over 1,000 frames to choose from, and their glasses are made
August 20th. The SBA can provide up to $2 million in assistance with interest rates as low as 3.25% for nonprofits and 4% for small businesses. The deadline to apply is April 28th, 2025. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
The defense attorney for a man who allegedly raped a child has filed a motion to suppress a statement his client gave to a Columbiana police officer. He claims the statement obtained from 41-year-old Joseph Goss of East Liverpool wasn't voluntary. The attorney also says it occurred without legal counsel. He wants the statement kept out of court. Goss was indicted by the Columbiana County Grand Jury on 3 counts of rape, 2 counts of gross sexual imposition, and 1 count of sexual battery. The victim was 11 to 12 years old at the time of the activity. Goss allegedly had sex with him from January 2022 to March of this year. The Mahoning County Coroner's Office has identified a man who died when his SUV crashed into a home on Youngstown's west side. He's 51-year-old Derek Franklin. The incident occurred around 10:30 Wednesday night. Police say a woman told an officer on patrol near Mahoning and Bell Vista Avenues that she had been shot at by a man at a nearby business. The officer chased a suspect vehicle north on Bell Vista but lost sight of it. Police later learned that the SUV had struck a home on Salt Springs Road. No one was home. Franklin was pronounced dead at the scene. An investigation has determined he also was the alleged shooter. The FBI has been contacted by the Trumbull County Sheriff's Office to help investigate the loss of tax money. According to Bezetta Township's fiscal officer, the township had been waiting on transactions from the county auditor's office and had not received them. They discovered emails dating back to August 9th from an unknown sender, which told an auditor's office employee that the township's bank account had changed. They provided a new account number, and the unknown sender intercepted 8 transactions from the auditor's office made out to the township. The funds total nearly $161,000. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, right after the forecast from News 5 meteorologist Mark Johnson. From the AM 1310 WDPN newsroom, I'm Jeff Mears.
Get ready for a cool down the next couple of days. Showers, maybe a rumble of thunder overnight, our low in the lower 50s. Saturday, rain ending early, then partly sunny, cooler, blustery, a high of 63. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Not sorta smart, SARTA Smart. Did you know we have 32 fixed routes? Just think of all the places that'll take you. So many of your SARTA destinations to shop, eat, entertain, have fun, learn, and earn. Catch any of them at our 4 transit centers. You'll find them in Alliance, Belden Village, Canton, and Massillon. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
When it comes to heating and cooling your home, quality always takes precedence. Being warm in the winter and cool during the summer are necessary for Ohio's extreme weather. At Harding Heating and Cooling, they recognize your needs and hope to bring comfort to your home. They are the Rheem Pro dealer for the Alliance area. Serving the area since 1975, Harding Heating and Cooling does everything for your comfort. With transparent pricing, 24/7 emergency services, comfort is just a phone call away at 330-823-8461. Visit Harding Heating and Cooling online at hardingheating.com.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
We return back in here on AM 1310 WDPN at the half. And first thing we're going to do here is run through our college scoreboard, SARTA scoreboard, around the country right now and around the OAC. Halftime, of course, here, Mount Union 28 and Ferrum 6. 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It is Baldwin Wallace 24 and Wittenberg 14. Marietta leading St. John Fisher 27-0. It's Ohio Northern 17 and Franklin 0. Tight game between Worcester and Wilmington, as Worcester leading 8-6 in the first quarter. And in the first quarter, Wisconsin Whitewater has a 7-0 lead on John Carroll. Looking at some national scores in college football. Up at the Big House in Ann Arbor, it is Texas 24 and 10th ranked Michigan 3. Third quarter, it is Penn State 27 and Bowling Green 24. Good game going on there.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised by that.
It is.
Arkansas with a lead in the third quarter over Oklahoma State 21-10. Tulane 20 and 17th ranked Kansas State 10. How about this? Former Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord tearing things up again for Syracuse. 341 yards passing, and the Orange are leading 23rd ranked Georgia Tech 24-14 in the third quarter. I feel like maybe Ohio State should have done something to keep him around. First quarter, Georgia, who has the second longest regular season win streak behind Mount Union, 14, and Tennessee Tech 0. Games later to come this afternoon, Notre Dame and Northern Illinois. The battle within the state of Iowa, Iowa State, and Iowa. 21st ranked Hawkeyes play host to the Cyclones at Kinnick Stadium. That's a 3:30 kick. Coming up later as well, Ohio State will have a very tough test with Western Michigan coming into the shoe. I'm sure they're just shaking in their boots over that one. Arguably the game of the night tonight, Tennessee and NC State. 14th ranked Tennessee going to Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. Also this evening, Oklahoma playing host to Houston at 7:45 in Norman. It is Oregon playing host at Autzen Stadium in Eugene to Boise State at 10 p.m. Arizona plays at their home stadium against Northern Arizona this evening, and USC welcomes in Utah State tonight. And that, again, a 11 o'clock kickoff Eastern time, not Pacific time. But most notable score, Michigan has added a field goal in that 3 versus 10 matchup in the AP poll. Texas 24 and Michigan 6. Wolverines off to a rough start in that one. And I know lots of folks around the Big Ten that support the Buckeyes going to be happy to see that score on the scoreboard.
You think?
Like I said in the OAC, big potential opening win for Baldwin Wallace going down to Wittenberg.
Yeah.
Wittenberg, never an easy place to
No.
play. And if there's one thing that they do down there really, really well, it's play really quality football. So with a little over 2 minutes left in that and BW with a 10-point lead, that could be a big week 1 win. And then Thursday, game that's already happened, the Student Princes of Heidelberg played against Hiram, and they won 38-14. Going to take another break here. We'll take a four-spot break here. Rainsburg, just communicated over the air with him. Just tell him what we're doing. Give you guys listening a look at the inner workings of radio as we'll go back to the studio. Halftime here. Mount Union 28. I think we're a little punchy at this point. Mount Union 28 and Ferrum 6. Timeout.
Struggling to quit nicotine? Let the experts at Vapor Station guide you to a healthier future. The knowledgeable team at Vapor Station in Alliance is here to help you find the perfect solution tailored to your needs. Whether you're looking to cut back or quit completely, we've got the tools, support, and products to help you succeed. Don't do it alone. Trust the pros at Vapor Station, located at 640 West State Street in Alliance.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Who rides SARTA? You do. You, your neighbors, coworkers, and the people behind you in line at the grocery store. Our riders are moms, dads, students, retirees, and commuters. To help persons with disabilities, our ProLine countywide service picks them up and takes them direct to their destination. SARTA riders tell us they appreciate all the places we take them and how we help the community. That's how you get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
Hey, man, good to see you. What brings you out here today? Need to pick up a few tools. You? I need new kitchen cabinets, countertops, maybe even a whole new kitchen, but I can't get any help or find what I need in this place. You need to go to Robertson's for that. Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery is an American Standard plumbing registered showroom, and their knowledgeable consultants have the training and expertise to to actually help you get what you need without breaking your budget.
Visit Robertson Kitchen and Bath at 2155 West Main Street in the Alliance Industrial Park, or visit them online at robertsonkitchenandbath.com, where amazing meets affordable.
Hello, Purple Raider fans. Chuck Moore here, former Mount Union running back, four-time national champion, and 2001 Gallardi Trophy winner. Are you facing some major financial events, things like retirement, marriage, divorce, or selling a business? We at Markham Wealth understand, and we can help. Call 330-564-8590 or visit www.markhamwealth.com for a free consultation.
Neither tailored services nor the background of your financial professional should be construed as a guarantee of a particular outcome. Past performance does not guarantee future results. All investing comes with risk, including risk of loss. Markham Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Not just a former Gallardi Trophy winner, but a former Mogador Wildcat who played under the greatest junior high coach of all time, George Mosica. Chucky Moore, as you knew him, back in 1987 or something.
I don't know the exact year, but it was in the late 80s. Yeah, he was just an athlete then. You could tell he was serious about sports, playing basketball. I didn't coach him in football, but he was part of a great state championship team at Mogador, and then went on to even more greatness at Mount, obviously.
Yeah, won a couple of Stag Bowls and was just an all-out excellent athlete. Whenever you're ready, George, go ahead with the stats.
Yeah, we talked there right at the end of the half about the fact that, Ferrum did a really good job of moving between the 10s, but couldn't finish drives. And that shows in the time of possession. They lead in time of possession with 16:36 to Mount's 13:24. Ferrum had 8 first downs, 87 yards rushing on 24 attempts, 32 net yards passing, total plays, 35 plays, and 119 yards. Also had 3 penalties for 30 yards and lost 1 fumble. For Mount, they had 10 first downs, 130 yards rushing on 16 attempts, passing yards, 104 yards, total offensive plays, 30 with a total yardage of 234 yards, 4 penalties for 51 yards, and no fumbles and no turnovers. Individually for Ferrum, Jalen Lee, their leading rusher, with 8 carries for 46 yards. Caleb Holland, 8 carries for 31 yards. A quarterback, Zach Wyatt, with 7 carries for 8 yards. Passing, Zach Wyatt, 8 for 11 for 32 yards. Receiving, Nathan Aguilar with 2 catches for 16 yards. Marquise Woodruff, 2 catches for 4. Sean Smith Jr., 1 catch for 7, and Jalen Lee, 1 for 4 yards. I have to make a point of saying that Ferrum, going into this game, we knew that they had an excellent kicking and punting game, and we did see Deaton kick 2 field goals, 2 for 2. He was an 83% field goal kicker last year, and they also have an excellent punter, William Dutton. 4 punts today for 184 yards and a 46-yard average with a long of 51. So they have an impressive kicking game. Mount Union individually rushing, Noah Beaudry with 7 carries for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Echeverry, 4 carries for 49 yards and a touchdown. Beaudry is also 9 for 13 for 104 yards and 1 touchdown passing with a long of 30. Receiving, Darnell Williams with 3 catches for 22 yards. Jerry Cooper, 2 for 36. Nick Turner, 2 for 27. And Tyler Sanders, 2 for 19. With that, let's go to the drive summaries.
Take a break here. And then
you want to take a break and then we'll come back? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's.
Yeah, halftime, 5 minutes left in the half, 28-6. Mount Union leads over Ferrum. We'll get you there one day. It's AM 1310 WDPN again. Halftime, Mount Union 28, Ferrum 6. We'll come back with the drive summaries and also a look at the scoring plays for Mount Union from the first half. We'll be back.
So here I am in line at Papa Gyro's. I order the Gyro Supreme. Suddenly, the lady behind me chimes in.
It's pronounced gyro.
Then the fella behind her says,
"It's a gyro."
I turn my back and I finish my order. I also need a large Grecian salad, some baklava chocolate swirl, and a Cajun gyro.
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 Okay. So no matter how you say it, you're not far from a Papa Gyro's.
For Pete's sake, it's Papayitos. Find the Papayitos closest to you at papayitos.com.
Who's Pete?
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. There are several ways to ride SARTA. Pay your fare the way you want. Use our Easy Fare app to get your ticket on the go. Tap to pay with SARTA Score and Touchdown cards. You can even pay with exact change in cash. The price is right and you can purchase at any of our transit centers. Tickets start as low as $1.50 per ride, or you can get a 30-day pass for $45. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
Hey, man, good to see you. What brings you out here today? Need to pick up a few tools. You? I need new kitchen cabinets, countertops, maybe even a whole new kitchen, but I can't get any help or find what I need in this place. You need to go to Robertson's for that. Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery is an American Standard plumbing registered showroom, and their knowledgeable consultants have the training and expertise to actually help you get what you need without breaking your budget.
Visit Robertson Kitchen and Bath at 2155 West Main Street in the Alliance Industrial Park, or visit them online at robertsonkitchenandbath.com, where amazing meets affordable.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
We return back in here and going to look now at the drive summaries and the highlights. And George, if you want to read off those drive summaries and then set up the highlights and just tell Rainsburg when to go and hit play.
Okay, Ferrum struck first with 5:14 in the first quarter on a Seth Deaton 19-yard field goal to take a 3-0 lead. Then with 3:18 in the first quarter, Mount Union struck with their first touchdown.
An 8-yard touchdown pass on a little screenplay in the flat, and Sanders rushes in down the left sideline for Mount Union's second score of the game.
That was actually Mount Union's second score of the game. They scored with 3:18 in the first quarter on a Tyler Echeverry 32-yard run and a Merritt kick. Then, as the highlight just indicated, Noah Beaudry hit Tyrell Sanders from 8 yards out. Merrick with the kick to give Mount a 14-3 lead with 11:16 in the second quarter. With 7:21 in the second quarter, Seth Deaton added his second field goal from 17 yards out for Ferrum to cut Mount's lead to 14-6. Then with 6:07 in the second quarter, Mount scored their third touchdown.
Cooper in the slot on the far side. Out wide goes Sanders. Turner alone near side. Out wide left. Man in motion is Cooper across the formation, keeping his Boudry. Zone read. Right side numbers 10. Spins at the 5 and dives into the end zone. Noah Boudry, the junior quarterback, at 6 foot with an unbelievable show of athleticism in the opening field. And at the 6:07 mark of the second quarter, it's Mount 20 and Ferrum 6.
Merrick added the point after to give Mount a 21-6 lead with 6:07 in the second quarter. Then after a Ferrum fumble on the 5-yard line, Mount took over and went 3 plays and scored their final touchdown of the half.
Boudry with Williams to his left on the 3rd and goal from the 1. Boudry keeps and walks in. Down the left side, hashes a 1-yard scamper by Noah Boudry. Second rushing touchdown of the very young 2024 season for the junior quarterback. And it's Mount 27 and Ferrum 6 at the 1:55 mark of the second quarter.
Merrick added the extra point to give us the current 28-6 Mount halftime lead here at Ferrum College.
So, start of the second half upcoming now. Mount will receive the football. Thanks for all the highlights, Rainsburg. We'll, of course, give them to you again in the post game. And we'll have that along with the stats and other things here on WDPN. It's AM 1310 WDPN in Alliance, and second half underway now. As kicking it deep will be Deaton from the 35 for Ferrum off to our left. And Darnell Williams, one of two return men back. Williams under it at the 10. Darnell to the 30. Darnell 40. 45-50 to the 45 of Ferrum and out of bounds. Tell you what, Darnell Williams can play, and I got to say about Darnell, he went to John Adams in Cleveland, and actually, my wife, Allie, taught him in school, and I saw him down there before and spoke to him a bit, and just great to see him exceeding and succeeding, I should say, at the college level and playing such a key role on this team this year for Coach Jeff Dart. 1st and 10 for Mount. Chance of defense from the Ferrum crowd. They need it down 22 as it's a 1st and 10 for Mount on the Ferrum 42. Turner will split wide right to the boundary, and before the play, flag and a delay of game on the Purple Raiders. Game has been flag heavy. That is for certain through a half. Both teams have seemed to struggle with that, and Mount now with their 5th penalty for 56 yards. 1st and 15 now for Mount on the Ferrum 47. Back to throw is Boudry. He's going to run. Designed run. Eludes the pressure. Tries to get to the right sideline and is thrown out of bounds at the Ferrum 46-yard line. Great open field play by Jamison Hackett, who actually was the leader on the team last year in both tackles for loss and sacks. And made a great open field play there, did the linebacker after a gain of just 2. 2nd and 18 for Mount on the Ferrum 45.
Yeah, it looked like Boudry had some running room there, but they did a really good job, as you said, John, of basically stopping that play for a short gain.
Cooper in the slot on the far side. Out wide goes Turner. 2 wide receivers wide left on a 2nd down and 13. Throw right sideline. Oh, Turner with an acrobatic catch, but he was out of bounds on the right sideline on the Ferrum 38. 3rd down and 13 from out at the Ferrum 45 coming up.
Yeah, Turner simply couldn't get his feet in bounds. It was a good throw. He just ran out of room there on the sidelines.
3rd down and 13 for Mount at the Ferrum 45 going right to left. White tops, black pants. Echeverry to the right of Boudry here in the gun. Ball on the right hash. Turner out wide right to the boundary. 3 wide receivers wide left to the field. Sanders, one of them, the leading receiver returning from last year. Boudry to throw. Fires middle. There's Turner. Turner cuts it up and in. Turner left sideline to the 20. Down to the 15. To the 10. And thrown out of bounds at the 12-yard line. They needed 13, and they pick up 33. 1st and 10. A Stratton Chevrolet 1st down. Mount Union quickly up to the line now at the Ferrum 12 with a 1st and 10. Boudry again in the shotgun. Echeverry to his right. Sanders wide left. 3 wide right. Handoff Echeverry. Left side numbers. Barrels is back into the Ferrum defensive front and picks up 2 down to the 10. 2nd and 8 at the Ferrum 10.
You know, on that reception, John, for that big chunk play, Mount has been running their patterns about 20 yards down the field. So that's why they're getting these big chunk plays because, you know, they're finding holes in the Ferrum defense deep instead of shorting, you know, basically throwing the short pass underneath. And they've been getting some really nice gains on those pass plays all day.
2 tight ends left side of the line, both Sims and Anderson. Sanders and Turner wide right to the field. 2nd and 8 from the 10 of Ferrum. Handoff Echeverry out of the shotgun and a gain of 2 down to the 8. Actually, they give him 3 to the 7. So a 3rd down and 5 at the 12:35 mark coming up here of the 3rd quarter for Mount as they lead 28-6. They're in the red zone and looking to capitalize with another score here if they can. 3rd down today, Mount 3 for 6 on 3rd down. They have only gone for it once on 4th down. They were 0 for 1 that one time. 3rd and 5 at the 8 of Ferrum for Mount. They're in the shotgun. Cooper in motion, left to right across the formation. Low snap. Boudry gives. Echeverry up the middle. First down can be gotten at the 2. And I think he just got to that mark on the left side hashes. He did. 1st and goal on a Stratton Chevy first down to the 2-yard line. Mount now 4 for 7 on 3rd down conversions this afternoon. Drew Sims checks back in for Mount on the 1st and goal at the Ferrum 2 on the left hashes. Cooper and Sanders wide right to the field. Turner to the boundary, wide left. Pistol formation, handoff Echeverry. Echeverry dances his way into the end zone. In between the hashes and the numbers on the left side of the field, Tyler Echeverry finds the end zone for the 2nd time this afternoon as Mount leads 34-6 at the 11:22 mark of the 3rd quarter.
John, that might have been their most impressive drive of the day. It was just a thing of beauty. I mean, they're just not being stopped right now.
Extra point now out of the hold of Mike Franklin, the punter. Merrick's kick on the way. Good snap, good spot. Kick is up, and that combination is perfect. 5 for 5 on extra points, and Mount Union adds to their already large lead. It is now a 29-point lead, a full 4 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. And at the 11:22 mark, it's Mount 35 and Ferrum 6 in the 3rd quarter. Timeout.
For over 80 years, Bonford Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Bonford's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis windshield repair system, just one of the expert repairs from Bonford Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Bonford Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Merrick's kick and a return by Holland to across the 25 of Ferrum. 1st and 10 coming up for the Ferrum Panthers here at home as they lead by a score of, or they trail by a score of 35-6. The 3rd quarter, Ferrum with a 1st and 10 on their own 26 in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Lee, and he is eaten up in the backfield. Lee with no chance as a couple of Mount Union Purple Raiders helping out down there. And I'm not sure if that was Rossi Moore who's back out there. I'm not sure if it was just like a half type of thing that he's like suspended for, but that looks to be him that's back out there on that one side. No gain, actually a loss of 2. And now on the 2nd and 12 from their own 24, throw downfield by Wyatt to the right sideline at the feet of his intended target up on his own 38-yard line. Never really had a chance to get the ball there with a hand in his face. Kai Bowers, the intended target. 3rd down and 12 for Ferrum on their own 24. I think that is Rossi Moore that's back out there.
Yeah, he's back out there.
Thought he was ejected from the game. I'm not sure if maybe
it appeared that he did because the official pointed him to leave the field. So it did appear that he was ejected.
3rd and 12 here. Shotgun. Wyatt looking to step up. Has running room. Left side numbers to the 35, or at least close to it. And he's pushed out at his own 32. Tried to tiptoe his sideline. I thought he got to the 35, but his foot went out at the 32. And it brings up a 4th down and a punting situation here for the Ferrum Panthers. Again, Mount leading 35-6, 10-13 clock running third quarter. I think they're having some issues with that.
It appears that way. They were having some issues early in the game, which was why we were not able to give live stats, and it appears that they're having some issues again here in the second half.
Looks like it's corrected now, though.
Yep. I believe you're right, John.
Dutton will be on to kick this deep here in just a moment. And before that, delay of game, the call on Ferrum. 9:42 in the third quarter. And Dutton will kick this from inside his own 15. Tyler May back on his own 30 for Mount Union. Good snap, chest high. And wobbly spiral of a kick from his own 34. Here's May. May eludes one tackler. Goes right numbers to the 40. May right sideline near the 43-yard line and out of bounds near the 45. Foot went out at his own 43. 1st and 10 there for Mount. George, we do have that previous drive.
Yeah, we do finally have that. Mount had a 6-play, 58-yard drive, used up 3:32 on the clock. Tyler Echeverry with the 2-yard run. Merrick with the kick. As John said, Merrick's now 5 for 5, perfect today. And 35-6 was where we're at now with Mount again with the football.
1st and 10 from their own 43, up 35-6. Boudry in the shotgun. Williams, Darnell to his left. May and Sanders come wide left to the field. Cooper in motion right to left across the formation. Boudry throws. Middle of the field, now to the left numbers. Here's May. May left sideline to the 35 and near the 30 of Ferrum. What a beautifully designed play on first down and a big-time pickup of 27 yards.
You know, John, it just seems like right now Mount is going to be able to name the score.
1st and 10 to the Ferrum 30. Cooper, May, and Sanders wide right. Pistol for Mount. Wide left goes Turner. Here's a handoff to Williams. Darnell eludes a tackle left sideline 20. Down to the 10. Near the 5-yard line outside the left numbers and down to the 6 of Ferrum. They'll actually spot him down at the 5.
Ferrum just looks like they have totally lost their focus right now. They're not offering much resistance. I mean, 2 chunk plays in a row, and it looks like Mount's going to score easily here.
1st and goal at the Ferrum 5 in the pistol, going right to left. Handoff, Williams. Now Boudry kept it. He juked, and he went in. Between the numbers and the hash marks on the left side of the field again. And Noah Boudry, for the 3rd time in this game, finds the end zone, that time on a 5-yard touchdown run. 8:29, third quarter. Mount 41, Ferrum 6, and the route is on.
Yeah, pretty much the same play he scored on previously, a fake with the zone read into the line, and then he just goes around the end, and there was nobody there to stop him. He walked in.
Merrick's extra point on the way out of the hold of Franklin. Combination now 6 for 6 today. Some jawing happening after the play. They call it off. And at the 8:29 mark of the third quarter, Mount 42, Ferrum 6. Timeout from Virginia.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Sure, we're all about Stark County, but did you know we have express fixed routes to Akron and Cleveland? Just take Route 81, that's Akron, or Route 4 to Cleveland. Shop, eat, sightsee, catch a game, or visit that other Hall of Fame. We also take veterans to their Wade Park appointments for free. Plan your next trip to Akron or Cleveland, and SARTA will get you there. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
We return back in here to Ferrum. 42-6. Tight game happening. Mount Union leading now by 36. It was once Ferrum 3-0. Since then, Mount has outscored them 42-3. Just shows you how quickly Mount Union can flip the game. I believe it was Ferris Bueller who once said, life comes at you fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it. Same deal with playing Mount Union. Football comes at you fast. From the 10 here, the return by Holland. Holland, well, he stopped middle of the field, and that's the worst thing he could have done. 2 flags come flying in. He got to his own 27, but it really didn't matter. And 1st and 10 coming up for Ferrum. The flag's down at his own 23 is where they spot him down. He literally stopped running middle of the field, which, again, is a big-time no-no.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Got to just keep the momentum moving forward. And these 2 flags are down. And hold on Ferrum. The call. Spot of the foul was the 23, so going to be a 1st and 10, I believe, from the 13 for Ferrum from their own 13. George, that drive summary.
Yeah, they still haven't posted the plays in the yardage, John.
Gotcha. I thought they posted it already.
No, they're a little slow on the trigger on this one.
Following the penalty, Kansas take over 1st and 10. Falls on the 13-yard
So
line.
1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 13. Wyatt in the shotgun from the left hash. Handoff Lee around the right end, and Rossi Moore is making up for lost time. He ran all the way from the right side of the field to the left side of the field to make that tackle there. He says, I'm a preseason All-American. I need to get my tackles in. Gain of 7, though. 2nd down and 3 upcoming for Ferrum at their own 20-yard line. Wyatt in the shotgun, Lee to his right. Keeping here is Wyatt. Really nice fake. Wyatt to the right sideline to the 30 and pushed out of bounds up across his own 30. You know what, Zach Wyatt has fought pretty hard in this game this afternoon. That was a nice gain up to his own 38-yard line.
John, real quick on that drive summary, it was 3 plays, 57 yards. They used up only 10 seconds on the clock. Noah Beaudry with the 5-yard run, Merrick with the kick, 42-6, our current score.
Actually to the 37, 1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 37. Wyatt throws right. Pass is caught. Aguilar trying to break the tackle up across his own 40 on the right sideline and was close to escaping the play of Manny Curtis there, the corner, but could not quite get away. And it is a gain of 8. And it's a 2nd and 2 for Ferrum from their own 45. Aguilar again in tight, wide right. That's to the boundary. 2 wide receivers to the field, wide left. 2nd and 2 from the 45. Handoff and going nowhere. Running back in Lee upended. We've called his name a lot this afternoon. John Klump, the senior linebacker. Klump, the senior from Roy's City, Texas, has made a lot of plays, and it's actually a loss of 1 there. 3rd and 3 for Ferrum on their own 44. Down 42-6, 6:24 third quarter. Shotgun snap to Wyatt, throws middle ball, tipped at the line. Both Von Factor and Garrett Kramer get their paws up there, as well as Marcus Jackson being in the vicinity of the linebacker. And what had promise after 1 first down is then quickly negated by Mount Union's swarming defense. And it's a 4th and 3 for Ferrum on their own 44, down 42-6 with 6:19 in the third quarter.
Yeah, this has been the narrative for Ferrum all day. You know, they move the ball a little bit, look like they're going to put something promising together, and then it just either fizzles or they can't complete it.
Maybach deep on his own 15. Good snap here to the punter again in Hutton. And May fields it on a fair catch from his own 21. 1st and 10 from out on their own 21-yard line. And the question now, are we going to start to see some backups? Mount is up by a large enough amount that I believe that that time and place could be in the near future here in this game, but I still see Noah Boudry coming out. Backup tailback, though, coming out on this first play as Sean Thomas, the freshman from Lima Central Catholic, in. And he is behind Boudry, and he gets the handoff on first down, and like he was shot out of a cannon. Nice run, a gain of 6 on first down. Or a gain of 11 on first down, I beg your pardon. I said the wrong spot there. 1st and 10 for Mount to their own 31. 5:50 third quarter, leading 42-6. Again, Sean Thomas remains in the backfield with Boudry here in the pistol. Boudry wanted to throw right. Nothing was there. Now he's going to pull it and run. Boudry in between the hashes up to his own 38. Good for a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3 coming up.
Yeah, John, I think you're right. I think we will see some substitutions here from Mount. They've got a big, their home opener in 2 weeks on September 21st. Also the OAC opener with John Carroll. That's going to be a big game over at Cara Stadium. They don't want to risk anybody getting hurt with this game pretty much decided.
2nd and 3 for Mount. Shotgun snap from their own 38. Boudry fires deep right sideline. There's Sanders. Sanders caught it! Oh, what a catch by Tyrell Sanders on the right sideline, down on the 16-yard line. He went Randy Moss over his corner. He simply caught the ball on top of his helmet, got 2 feet down, and that was a tremendous play.
Yeah, it was just underthrown just a tad, but he adjusted to the ball. The defender was basically in his face, and he somehow got the ball, pulled it in, and came down with it. It was, as you said, John, just a fantastic catch.
1st and 10 from the 16 of Ferrum. And out of the shotgun, the keep on the fake push pass by Noah Boudry, and he gets down to the 12. Incredible play there by Tyrell Sanders, catching that over the defender that was there and just went up and rose to his highest point, making the catch. And he's not very tall at 5'9".
No.
2nd down and 6 from Mount on the Ferrum 12. Shotgun for Boudry. Sanders wide left. Hand off. Thomas, no, he faked and had a man wide open. Middle of the field, and it's caught for a touchdown. Nick Turner, right over the middle of the field on a 12-yard touchdown pass. The fake by Boudry to Thomas was so good that I thought Thomas had the football. 3:48 in the third quarter, Mount 48, Ferrum 6.
Yeah, it was a fantastic fake into the middle of the line. It held the defense, and then he just threw a bullet over the middle for that touchdown pass.
You good over there?
I am. As I said, he just threw a bullet over the middle for that touchdown pass.
I don't know why you wear your headset so back on your head like that. Put it on the middle of your head. Merrick's extra point is up, and it's good. 7 for 7 now is Merrick. 49-6, Mount Union. 3:48 third quarter. Will take this timeout.
Visit Carnation Optical at 75 Glamorgan Street, across from the Glamorgan Castle, right here in Alliance, formerly in the Carnation Mall. Carnation Optical is locally owned and operated since 1983, with over 1,000 frames to choose from, and their glasses are made in-house. Stephanie and her team at Carnation Optical invite you to call and schedule your eye appointment at 330-821-5476 and experience Carnation Optical's laid-back, casual environment with on-site lab for fast and accurate services. Carnation Optical at the intersection of Union and Glamorgan. Come see for yourself.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Another perfect drive by the Purple Raiders, aided by the catch of the year, already on a 46-yard reception by Tyrell Sanders to set up Mount with a short field done after that. And Noah Boudry continues his uber-accurate day. He's now completed 72% of his passes. He's a QBR of 223.2. That's really good. Merrick will kick this deep now from the 35. Down below us to our right, Aguilar, and Holland back deep. Heads the way of Holland from his own 13-yard line. Holland broke one tackle, broke another. Couldn't get past the third. He was down at his own 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 27.
Noah Boudry has just been amazing today. 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, responsible basically for 5 touchdowns for Mount today. He's just been outstanding.
Question coming into the year was, could Noah Boudry fill the very large shoes that Braxton Plunk left when he graduated? And no question here in game 1 that Boudry is more than up for the task. 1st and 10 for Ferrum on their own 27. Wyatt in the shotgun gives off Holland. Loss of 3, middle of the field. And it's Marcus Jackson, the linebacker, who came up and had a big tackle for loss. Loss of 3. George, that Mount Union drive summary again.
5 plays, 79 yards, 2:25 used up on the clock. Noah Boudry with the 12-yard pass to Nick Turner, the bullet across the middle. Merrick with his 7th extra point, and 49-6.
2nd down and 13, and another big loss. Handoff to Holland out of the shotgun, and it's Von Factor who came up and made a factor.
John, it's interesting to me. About midway through the second quarter, Mount was up 21-6, and Ferrum had the ball, and it looked like they were possibly going to get back in the game, and they weren't able to. And since then, it's just been 4 unanswered touchdowns by Mount to now, kick that 21-6 lead out to 49-6.
3rd and long, screen set up, middle of the field. This goes Holland, and Holland is swarmed on by Rossi Moore and company on the right side numbers at his own 30-yard line. They needed 18 on that 3rd down. They pick up a good chunk of it back, 11, but that is well shy of where they needed for the 1st down. And again, Ferrum will punt it deep. Ferrum today, by the way, has been very busy punting the football. You look at what they've done. They punted it a number of times. Mount has had to punt it twice. Ferrum, on the other hand, this will now be their 7th punt of the game, as Dutton has been busy. Back deep, Tyler May calls for the fair catch on his own 30-yard line on the left numbers. 1st and 10 there for Mount. Up 49-6 with 1:56 left in the 3rd quarter. Know any good jokes?
No. John, this is enough time for them to score again before the end of this quarter. They've already had today they've already had a 106 drive, a 125 drive, a 10-second drive, and a 147 drive. So this is still, plenty of time. They score quickly.
Boudry and the whole starting offense still coming out. The only difference is now they have the young freshman running back, Sean Thomas, who seems like he's going to be a load from Lima Central Catholic out there. 1st and 10, almost in a full house shotgun here. Handoff goes Darnell Williams. Williams spits through the pile. Williams across the 40 to the 45-yard line, left side hashes. Man, 1st and 10 from their own 30, and they pick up 15 like it was picking up 5.
John, let's mention one thing, too. We mentioned it before the game. This whole offensive line for Mount Union is back this year from last year, and they have been outstanding. As I said, slow start, but they have just been outstanding controlling the line of scrimmage. Early on, it looked like Ferrum had the advantage, but no way now.
Echeverry and Thomas flank Boudry on the 1st and 10 from his own 45. He throws middle on the play action where Turner makes the catch on the Ferrum 45 on the left side hashes. Good for 10, good for another 1st down. 2 plays and 25 yards picked up for Mount. 55 seconds, clock runs, 3rd quarter. Mount 49, Ferrum 6. Mount looking to run the 2-minute offense to perfection here in this quarter, as they have a 1st and 10 on the Ferrum 45. In the shotgun again, deep back here is Williams, and keeping his Boudry on the zone read, and he is so good at that. And he picks up 4 in between the hashes down to the 41. 2nd and 6 upcoming.
You know, John, I remember years ago I heard the story that Lee Corso, when he was coaching in Indiana, had a 10-0 lead over one of the Big Ten powers. So he stopped the game and had him take a picture of the scoreboard. I wonder if Coach Sherman took a picture when it was 3-0 today.
2nd down and 6 from the Ferrum 41 for Mount. Boudry gives Williams, Darnell left sideline to the 35 and out at the 32 along the left sideline. Foot actually went out at the 31 for a gain of 10, but a flag is down.
By the way, Indiana lost that game badly.
I know, I remember. I think Corso's career at Indiana was marred by bad losses.
Yeah, he had a couple of good years.
Yeah, it was not great, though.
He's been more of a legend as a commentator, and
has
a very big legend. I saw him last week on College Game Day, and I still can't believe he's still going strong. I think
holding on Mount here, and that's going to end the third quarter, I'm pretty sure. So end of the third quarter, Mount leading 49-6. Take a timeout and have the final quarter when we return.
Gear up for game day with Grinders Above and Beyond, the spot for tailgating fun. Grinders has everything you need to make your pregame experience unforgettable. Join us for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and get a taste of our homemade tailgating favorites. Planning a big game gathering? Let us handle the catering. From sandwich platters and homemade chips to soups and salads, pies, and brownie samplers. We've got all your tailgating needs at Grinders Above and Beyond.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Take a look at the college scoreboard again as Texas leading Michigan now 31-6 in the fourth quarter. Not that one loss really means a lot for a team now with the expanded playoff. Michigan could still find their way in with a win over Ohio State. And I'm going to be this guy all year, by the way. Kyle McCord, 368 yards passing today and 4 touchdowns for Syracuse, who leads Georgia Tech with 231 in the fourth quarter. Become a big Kyle McCord fan overnight because Ohio State, I think, did him dirty. All right. 2nd down and 16 to start the final quarter, going left to right now for Mount. Handoff goes Darnell Williams sweeping around the left end. And Williams from his own 49 gets down to the Ferrum 47. Good for a gain of 4. And I know a lot of people are going to start the whole, well, Michigan isn't cheating, so they're not winning games.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, I think you're going to hear that a lot this week.
I think they lost a lot of talent to the draft.
They did. They lost a lot of talent to the draft.
I think saying otherwise is
disingenuous.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
3rd down and 12 for Mount on the Ferrum 47. In the shotgun, Williams in motion to the flat on the near side. Now motions back again to the right of Boudry, and this is a first. Taking a timeout with a 43-point lead in the fourth quarter. 14-12 left in the game. And as I said, Mount Union casually leads 49-6, and Coach Dart says,
But you know what, John? It's that attention to detail that makes Mount.
I know it's true.
You know,
it's very true.
That's what it is. It's that attention to detail. Yes, you're up 49-6, but it doesn't look right. So Coach Dart called the timeout. You know, some would say, well, why would you, as you said, why would you do that? But, I think it's that huge attention to detail. That's why they're a 13-time national champion. That's why they've won, 65 regular season or 64 regular season games, 65 today in a row. And, it's just an amazing record over the last number of decades.
This will be their 37th straight home opening win. Season opening win.
Season opening win, yeah.
3rd and 12 for Mount on the Ferrum 47. Shotgun. Boudry fires middle. Pass is caught. Left side numbers. What a catch made by the wide receiver and Ethan Fletcher, the sophomore from Canfield.
What a throw. I mean, he
was over
over
the extended arms of the linebacker.
Yeah, he was sandwiched between the two defenders, and Boudry just made a fantastic throw. He has really impressed me with his arm.
1st and 10 to the Ferrum, 25 on the left hash, shotgun snap to Boudry. Looks middle, fires middle. He tipped it back to himself, I think, and then caught it, or maybe he never threw it, but it looked like the ball was tipped at the line, and then he caught it himself. Similar play happened the other night where Patrick Mahomes did something like that.
Boudry to Boudry and Mahomes to Mahomes.
Yeah. Gain of 3 down to the 22 of Ferrum. And Mount again knocking on the doorstep with a 2nd and 7 at the Ferrum 22 with 13:10 left in the game. Fletcher in the slot on the far side just made that great catch. Turner out wide. May in the slot on the near side. Out wide goes Sanders. The field is to the right side. The boundary to the left sideline. Boudry gives off Williams. Williams stopped at the line, keeps running, and thought he broke free, but he's going to lose yardage here with like 6 flags down. Basically got back to the original line of scrimmage, which was the 22 of Ferrum, but looks like it might be coming back, and some signs of frustration there from the Mount Union offensive line.
John, what's the size on the offensive linemen there? From up here, they just look huge.
Aiden Cage, left tackle, 265. Giovanni Kennedy, left guard, 270. Mason Fortner, the center, 290. Jarrett Burris, the right guard, is 285. And Ben Lilly, the preseason All-American right tackle, at 6'4" and 305.
That's a lot of beef up there.
So penalties will offset face mask and a hold. And those penalties will offset. And they don't even have all of their starters in unless, yeah, they do. They have everybody in still.
Yeah, I have a feeling after this drive, you're going to start seeing some substitution.
I mean, we've seen some guys here and there.
Yeah, I think, too, it's just another point is it's the first game of the year for them. They got no game in the next 2 weeks. They got an open date next week. I think he wants to give his starters as much playing time and live game action as he can. So I think that's why you're continuing to see, even with this big lead. I just have a feeling after this series, you might start seeing some wholesale substitutions.
2nd down and 7 for Mount on the left hash at the Ferrum 22. Shotgun snap here to Boudry. Brings it in, looks middle, fires middle. Pass is caught down on the 16 by Fletcher on the left side numbers. Knee went down at the 17, though, so it's good for a gain of 5. And a 3rd and 1, actually a 3rd and 2 at the Ferrum 17 for Mount. 12-14 left in the game. Fletcher and Sanders wide left. Tight end that side as well. Out wide right goes Turner. Man in motion is Fletcher, left to right across the formation. Boudry gives zone read play left. This is Williams, and Williams picks up the first down to the left sideline to the 15 of Ferrum. Should have the first down. I think he got 2 there. He did, in fact. Are they going to keep this at 4th down? No, it's first down. 1st and 10 to the Ferrum 15. Under 12 minutes in the game, 11:38 and counting. Into the game comes the big tight end, Drew Sims. He's another big blocker out there for Mount. Him being 6'4" and 240, and the other tight end, Anderson, at 6'2" and 225. With all the beef up front, that's why Boudry always has all day to throw. 1st and 10 from the Ferrum 15. Play fake, back to throw is Boudry. Throws middle in between 5 defenders on the 2-yard line, and the only player's hands that it hit was Nick Turner, but he dropped it on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it was a hell of a throw. He almost pulled it in. You know, talking about Darnell Williams, he has 62 yards rushing today. He has 50 yards. Let's see. Yeah, 62 yards. I'm sorry, 62 yards receiving and 52 yards rushing today. And after this play, I'll get his return yardage.
2nd down and 10 from the Ferrum 15 for Mount. Shotgun snap to Boudry, and before the play, I think the play clock might have run out.
And he has 139 yards on his kick return. So he has just an unbelievable amount of individual total offense for them today. He's been outstanding also.
Yeah, he's a really good player. I mean, last year, like I said, he was 2nd on the team in rushing, 726 yards and 7 touchdowns, 12 receptions, 105 yards, was a difference maker. And he's not big. He's only 5'7" and 170, but He's just quick and he's elusive and he's shifty. Kind of reminds me a bit of Tyreek Hill with the build.
Yeah, he's a very definition of a spark plug. He's just that kind of player.
2nd and 15 after the false start for Mount on the Ferrum 20 on the left hash. Shotgun snap to Boudry. Fires middle for Fletcher over his head. Down the seam, down the left side of the field. And it was in the end zone. So a 3rd and 15 for Mount on the Ferrum 20.
Yeah, one of the few times today that Boudry has overthrown a receiver that was open.
So Ethan Fletcher will remain in the slot on the far side for this 3rd and 15 at the 11:04 mark of the 4th quarter. Mount leading 49-6. 2 wide receivers right to the field, May and Sanders. Back to throw is Boudry. Pump fake, throws back in the end zone over the head of Turner in the northwest corner of the end zone, and Mount, for the first time today, other than the 2 punts, will settle for 3 instead of 6 in the red zone.
Yeah, that was a timing pattern in the end zone, and they just couldn't quite sync that one up.
So the kick here will be a 37-yarder for Merrick. He's a perfect 7 for 7 on field goals. This is from the left hash for the righty kicker. Jared Pasco to snap. Mike Franklin to hold. Bobbled snap. Franklin picks it up. Now he's going to look to run. Franklin, he can throw. He's back at the Ferrum 23 and goes out of bounds on the right sideline.
Yeah, I think he was hoping somebody was going to freelance into the end zone, and nobody actually thought to freelance as a receiver there. Everybody was staying close to the line of scrimmage and really had nowhere to go with the ball. And obviously the lineman couldn't do that. And there was about 4 linemen right in front of him, but there were a couple of receivers that could have basically gone down the field.
Update, by the way, Wisconsin Whitewater 14 and John Carroll 0. First down play for Ferrum from their own 23, and Wyatt throws deep right sideline and incomplete. Nearest man to the football was Johnny Papish, the safety for Mount. From Aurora, Massillon, Lima, Columbus, number of other schools. 2nd and 10 for Ferrum. Handoff to Smith from their own 23, and he gains 7 out of the shotgun. Oak Harbor, Wadsworth, Beloit, Columbiana, North Canton. Coaches from Mount Union recruit well in Ohio. They also recruit well in Texas and Florida.
They do.
3rd down and 3 for Ferrum from their own 30 in the shotgun. Handoff to Smith, and he's stopped in the backfield. Smith with no chance to go anywhere, and it was Caleb Renard from De Pere, Wisconsin. Awesome 1. Yeah, I mean, looking at the Mount Union roster is like looking at a list of voters for president of the United States. I mean, you're getting people from all over the country.
They really are. They definitely recruit nationally.
3rd down and 3 becomes 4th and 4 for Ferrum with 9:34 left in the game, down 49-6. Punt here by the kicker in Hutton. Takes a bounce towards May, and he falls on it on his own 33-yard line. Question of backups or starters for Mount here.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. There's a large huddle over there, so it's really hard to tell because half the team over there is huddling on the sideline between the 30 and the 40. So we'll see who comes out of that huddle.
Looks like it might be backups finally. First and 10 for Mount. Yeah, backup quarterback into the game in Mike Maloney from Paynesville Riverside. First and 10 from their own 33. Maloney keeps running left. And Maloney going to casually pick up more than enough for the first down on a pickup of 12 to his own 45 to the left numbers.
Well, what do you do if you're an opponent? You know, they bring
there's
in
nothing you can't do.
They bring in the second team, and the second team quarterback just gains 12 yards like it's nothing.
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
nothing you can't do.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw their roster had over 200 people on their total roster. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Like 140 freshmen. They just continue to reload.
So 1st and 10 to the 46 for Mount. They're in the shotgun. Maloney back to throw. Fires right at the feet of Fletcher on the right side numbers in Ferrum territory at the 48. 8:48 remains. Mount 49, Ferrum 6. Some other guys that we see in there also at this point. Another wide receiver is Trey Radford, the sophomore. He splits wide right here. Tight end in the game is still Matt Anderson. He's right on the formation. Maloney throws left here. Fletcher makes the catch left sideline into Ferrum territory past midfield to the 46 of the Panthers. 8:35 left, clock running, 49-6 Mount.
The other thing is a lot of teams will put in the backups and they don't look sharp. They look uncertain of themselves.
Not the case with Mount.
No, Mount puts in their backups. They look sharp. They look like they're comfortable on the field. They're not overwhelmed by it. It's just part of a great program.
Wide receiver, wide right here is Amari Allen. Lone man out there to the field on a 3rd and 2. Maloney in the pistol. Gives handoff. The freshman from Lima Central Catholic picks up the first down. The running back in Sean Thomas to the right numbers to the Ferrum 40.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good back one day.
Yeah, Ferrum missed the tackle there. That's been an issue with them at times today.
Ferrum defense last year that gave up 30 plus points per game at 30.3. We didn't see them play last year, obviously, but you imagine with a new head coach and Kevin Sherman with over 30 years of coaching experience that they're going to take a leap forward this year.
Yeah, it's a process.
1st and 10 to the Ferrum 40 here. Maloney in the pistol from the right hash. Thomas behind him. Handoff, Sean Thomas with a big hole. Thomas to the 30 right sideline. To the 25 of Ferrum goes Sean Thomas. Thomas runs with his shoulders steady and runs through tacklers on a nice run there. Really looks like he's just gliding down the field when he runs.
He does. That's the style that I thought of too. He just looks like he is so smooth when he runs.
So a 1st and 10 approaching the red zone, a Stratton Chevrolet first down to the Ferrum 25. And a 1st and 10 to the Ferrum 25 is Maloney in the shotgun. Back to throw, throws left. Dangerous pass.
Yeah.
On the 20-yard line on the left side numbers, dropped by Ethan Fletcher. Almost jumped on there by the Ferrum DB who was down there. It's either the Ferrum DB or the linebacker. It appeared as though man near the ball was Marquand Martin, the outside linebacker, the freshman who's playing late in the game here. So 2nd and 10 from out from the Ferrum 25. In the shotgun, Maloney wants to throw, fires right sideline. There's Allen. Spin move down inside the 15 near the 10-yard line. He was tiptoeing the right sideline, and Amari Allen made an excellent play. The sophomore tiptoed the sideline and found his way deep into Ferrum territory to the 11 on a Stratton Chevrolet first down. 1st and 10 from the Ferrum 11. Maloney in the shotgun. Fakes the give, runs left. Maloney, left side numbers, leaps over a man down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line on the left numbers.
Yeah, showed some athleticism with that leap.
6 minutes left in the game. We're under 6 minutes now. A pickup of 8. Down to the Ferrum 3-yard line for Mount. And a 2nd down and 2 at the Ferrum 3. Maloney again will be in the pistol. Thomas behind him. Allen wide right. 2 wide receivers wide left. Fletcher being one of them. Tight end left is Anderson. Handoff. Thomas. Thomas glides his way into the end zone from 3 yards out. Sean Thomas, the freshman running back from Lima Central Catholic, finds his way to pay dirt at the 5:30 mark of the 4th quarter. Mount 55 and Ferrum 6.
What are you going to do?
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Ferrum, what are you going to do? You bring in your second teamers, and they go down the field just as easily as your first team. I dare say, I think the second team could possibly win a number of games.
Extra point here. Second team kicking team there, and a missed extra point for the first time as it appeared to be partially blocked there. And Michael Franklin, the one who kicked that extra point and missed it as it was partially altered. 5:30 remains. Mount 55, Ferrum 6. Timeout.
Hello, Purple Raider fans. Chuck Moore here, former Mount Union running back, four-time national champion, and 2001 Gallardi Trophy winner. Are you facing some major financial events, things like retirement, marriage, divorce, or selling a business? We at Markham Wealth understand, and we can help. Call 330-564-8590 or visit www.markhamwealth.com for a free consultation.
Neither tailored services nor the background of your financial professional should be construed as a guarantee of a particular outcome. Past performance does not guarantee future results. All investing comes with risk, including risk of loss. Markham Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Randy Tewa set to kick this deep. It's a full boot into it. And Holland calls for a fair catch back inside his own 5. So, 1st and 10 coming up for Ferrum on their own 25. 5:27 left in the game. Mount leading 55-6. George, drive summary.
Still waiting for the plays and the yardage. Should have it here.
We know it was a lot of yards, and we know it happened quickly.
I should have it here in a couple seconds.
1st and 10 for Ferrum coming up here on their own 25. Down by 49. Wyatt in the shotgun. Throws right. Pass is caught on the screen pass and brought down immediately as the wide receiver after a very minimal gain. It was thrown there, and it was caught by Carmelo Canty. But a flag is down. George?
Yeah, I have that drive summary now. 9 plays, 67 yards, 3:55 used up on the clock by the Purple Raiders. Sean Thomas with the 3-yard run. Kick attempt failed, and as we said, 55-6 with now 5:21 left.
Holding on Ferrum the call. So if you're Mount now, you have 2 weeks off, and then you go back to Alliance. We have a week off, and then you have 2 weeks until you play your next game, but you welcome in John Carroll. 1st and 20 now for Ferrum on their own 15. Handoff to the tailback in the game. And not much of a gain for Justice Dorsett. Gain of 1, maybe 2 to his own 17.
And you said that John Carroll was down 14-0, I believe, to Wisconsin Whitewater.
Was the number that we had. We'll see if that's been updated. Halftime, it's 24-0 now, Whitewater.
Is that up at Wisconsin?
I believe it is. 2nd down and 18 here for Ferrum from their own 17. Throw left, and Dorsett brought down in the open field after a minimal gain of just 2. Johnny Papish, the one who made the open field tackle. Again, the player from Aurora for Mount Union. 3rd down and 16 for Ferrum. 4:18 remains. They're down 55-6, and they're in the shotgun. Back to throw is the quarterback in Wyatt. Rolls right with pressure coming. Fires right sideline. It was caught on the right sideline by a Mount Union Purple Raider. It was TJ DeShields, the backup quarterback from Beloit West Branch, made the catch. So, punt again for Ferrum. And Hutton has been busy. 9th punt of the day. It's had 2 over 50 yards.
John, I see your school has a 6 p.m. kickoff tonight with Ohio Wesleyan, Otterbein at Wesleyan.
Don't know anything about it. Kick deep here. Tyler Mayfield on his own 45 on the right numbers.
John, of course, matriculated at Otterbein.
I didn't do anything there. They just put a microphone in front of me and I started talking.
Yeah, it seemed like day one.
Yeah, I haven't shut up since. That's been part of the problem. Ask my wife. 1st and 10 for Mount Union now. And Maloney in this backup offense will come back out. Another backup tailback into the game. As for the first time, this will be Noah Cornish, who appears as though he'll be getting some carries. Behind Maloney. Hand off Cornish. Big hole. Cornish to midfield. To the 45 to the right numbers of Ferrum. To the 43. Gain of 12.
Just like Sean Thomas, first carry, 12 yards. Cornish, first carry, 12 yards.
It's truly amazing when you haven't seen Mount Union and you become reaccustomed to how good they are.
Yeah.
I'll tell a story about it from when I was at Otterbein here in a moment. But a 1st and 10 for Mount to the Ferrum 43. 2 wide receivers, one either way. And handoff here, sweeping left to another new tailback into the game who didn't go down, ran through a tackle, lowered his shoulder pads, and got inside the 35 of Ferrum to the 34, as that run was by another tailback in for the first time in Camden Wesley. I remember when I was a freshman at Otterbein, and I remember saying to someone, because Otterbein was really good that year, Coach Daup had things rolling, and I remember saying to the junior who was my mentor at Otterbein and Josh Overholzer, I remember saying, well, maybe Otterbein could beat Mount this year. Like, maybe that's possible. And he said no. And I was like, but maybe they could. Like, maybe they're good enough. And he was like, no chance. And I was like, but aren't you, like, not considering the fact that an upset is possible? He was like, watch the first quarter of today's game and tell me if you think. And it was incredible. They put like 35 points on the board in the first quarter. It was a good Otterbein team. It really was. But Mount Union, it's not that they do things. This is what I always say. It's not that they do amazing things. It's that they do all of the little things correct.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That was what we were talking about. The attention to detail.
3rd and 1 for Mount. From the Ferrum 34. Keeping his Maloney zone read. Left side Maloney inside the 30. And inside the 25 down to the 23. And you wonder why a kid who is a second-string quarterback in Mikey Maloney, a freshman, comes into the game and is fighting so hard. Well, he knows that once Noah Boudry, the junior, no longer wants to do it, that he's going to have to fight with the other guys that come into the program.
Yeah, so he wants to prove himself. Gives him incentive.
And now it's a 1st and 10 for Mount Union to the Ferrum 23. And 2 minutes remain in the game. 2-minute warning. 55-6 Mount Union. We'll take our final in-game timeout with Mount leading again. 55-6 with 2 minutes left.
When it comes to heating and cooling your home, quality always takes precedence. Being warm in the winter and cool during the summer are necessary for Ohio's extreme weather. At Harding Heating and Cooling, they recognize your needs and hope to bring comfort to your home. They are the Ream Pro dealer for the Alliance area. Serving the area since 1975, Harding Heating and Cooling does everything for your comfort. With transparent pricing, 24/7 emergency services, comfort is just a phone call away at 330-823-8461. Visit Harding Heating and Cooling online at hardingheating.com.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
Mount Union will no longer run plays for the betterment of gaining yardage. They will now simply put knees on it. 2 minutes remain, and the first knee made by Mikey Maloney from the Ferrum 23-yard line. Loss of 1 and a gain in the win column for Mount on the way. Yet another season-opening win. For those keeping track, it's their 36th season-opening win, 36 straight. That goes back to 1988. This is their 547th game in a row that they've scored in. That goes back to 1981. It's the 127th season of Mount Union football, which means that for a good portion of those seasons, they've scored in all of those games. It's pretty incredible.
It really is.
Let's add to that list of fun things that they've done. See what else they've done here recently. Dart is, of course, the 24th football coach in the school's history. And with an effort like this today, they are well on their way to potentially their 33rd straight undefeated, or their 33rd undefeated season in program history. Last year was their 34th appearance in the NCAA playoffs. And of course, the conference record 34th OAC championship last year was their 7th straight. All of that begins on the road to an NCAA Division III record 14th national title. As the press release said, new season, same expectations for this group of Purple Raiders. And they not only come on the road and win, but they come on the road and they dominate. Some early jitters were very easily thrown to the woods. Mount Union, dominant passion in week 1, 55-6 they win. It's officially a final as they defeat the Ferrum Panthers after a 6-hour road trip. The Purple Raiders will drive back to Stark County one more win richer and one rung on the ladder closer to that 14th national championship. George?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it was just an impressive game. Like I said, they and you said, John, they got off to a bit of a slow start, some jitters early on. Looked like Ferrum was going to hang with them, but that didn't last for long.
So it's a final. Mount Union 55, Ferrum 6. We'll take a timeout on AM 1310 WDPN on Q92's Facebook page, Q92 Sports, and the Q92 YouTube page. And when we return, we'll have your final numbers, followed by highlights, and so much more here on the postgame. Again, final score, Mount Union 55, Ferrum 6. Timeout.
So here I am in line at Papa Gyro's. I order the Gyro Supreme. Suddenly, the lady behind me chimes in.
It's pronounced gyro.
Then the fella behind her says,
It's a gyro.
I turn my back and I finish my order. I also need a large Grecian salad, some baklava chocolate swirl, and a Cajun gyro.
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 Okay. So no matter how you say it, you're not far from a Papa Gyro's.
For Pete's sake, it's Papayitos. Find the Papayitos closest to you at papayitos.com.
Who's Pete?
For over 80 years, Montfort Glass has been the expert when it comes to glass. You can count on the professionals at Montfort's for the latest techniques in glass repair, like the Aegis windshield repair system. The Aegis system can repair small chips in your windshield before they grow into big headaches. This revolutionary process takes less than an hour and can easily restore your windshield to its original strength. In fact, the Aegis windshield repair system is so effective that most insurance companies will waive the deductible and cover the entire amount of the repair, saving you and your insurance company up to 80% of the cost of a windshield replacement. The Aegis windshield repair system, just one of the expert repairs from Montfort Glass. They'll help you save money and make your windshield safer. Montfort Glass. Call 330-823-0450 or stop by at 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Hey, man, good to see you. What brings you out here today? Need to pick up a few tools. You? I need new kitchen cabinets, countertops, maybe even a whole new kitchen, but I can't get any help or find what I need in this place. You need to go to Robertson's for that. Robertson's Kitchen and Bath Gallery is an American Standard plumbing registered showroom, and their knowledgeable consultants have the training and expertise to actually help you get what you need without breaking your budget.
Visit Robertson Kitchen and Bath at 2155 West Main Street in the Alliance Industrial Park, or visit them online at robertsonkitchenandbath.com, where amazing meets affordable.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Not sorta smart, SARTA smart. Did you know we have 32 fixed routes? Just think of all the places that'll take you. So many of your SARTA destinations to shop, eat, entertain, have fun, learn, and earn. Catch any of them at our 4 transit centers. You'll find them in Alliance, Belden Village, Canton, and Massillon. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
You're listening to Mount Union Football on AM 1310 WDPN.
We're turned back in here on AM 1310 WDPN. Rainsburg, I'm not sure. How many ads do we have left to play? If you could respond into the chat to me and let me know so that I know if I need to take one final break here after this. If not, we will run through the final stats and run through the final scores as well. And that was officially it with our spots. So final order of business here. Running through the final numbers, which George has at the ready, and then we'll do the highlights from the game as well. George, whenever you are ready to take it away.
You know, John, halftime stats were reasonably close, but these final game stats just show Mount Union's dominance today. Mount Union with 28 first downs, 9 first downs for Ferrum. Time of possession, Mount Union with 33 minutes and 22 seconds, and Ferrum with 26 minutes and 38 seconds. Mount Union had 71 total plays for 591 total yards to Ferrum with 52 total plays and 161 total yards. Let's look at the individual stats. Individually for Mount Union, Boudry passing 16 for 24, 66.7% of his passes for 282 yards and 2 touchdowns with a long of 46 yards. Receiving, receiving by committee, I have to say. Sanders with 3 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Williams, 4 catches for 62 yards. Turner, 4 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. Radford, 1 for 43. Cooper, 2 for 36. Fletcher, 3 for 35. And Allen 1 for 14. Boudry also the leading rusher tonight. 13 rushes for 93 yards and 3 touchdowns. Echeverry, 7 attempts for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns. Williams, 9 for 52 yards. And finally, Sean Thomas, who came in during mop-up time, 4 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. And Maloney, backup quarterback, 3 for 32 yards. Let's look at Ferrum individually. Their quarterback, Zach Wyatt, was 11 for 18, 61% for 54 yards, a long of 11. Their leading receiver was Aguilar with 3 catches for 24 yards. Their leading rushers were Lee, 12 rushes for 54 yards, Holland, 8 for 33, and Wyatt, the quarterback, 10 for 45. Now let's look at the drives, and I believe, John, have highlights on most of these.
We're gonna do highlights on the first 7 Mount touchdowns.
Okay. As we said earlier, Ferrum drew the first blood with a Seth Deaton 19-yard field goal with 5:14 left in the first quarter to take a 3-0 lead. That was short-lived. With 3:18 left in the first quarter, Mount struck with their first touchdown.
An 8-yard touchdown pass on a little screenplay in the flat, and Sanders rushes in down the left sideline for Mount Union's second score of the game.
Yeah, that was actually Mount Union's second score of the game. Their first score with 3:18 in the first quarter was a Tyler Echeverry 32-yard run, a Merrick kick to make it 7-3. And then the highlight you just heard was their second touchdown, Boudry to Sanders for 8 yards, and the Merrick kick to make it 14-3 with 11:16 in the second quarter.
We might have that first highlight. Do we have the first highlight, the 32-yard run, Ryan? If so, you can play it right now. I don't know if we do. 10, down to the 5, left sideline, touchdown. 32 yards by Tyler Echeverry down the left sideline for a Mount Union score.
There we go. That was a highlight. With 7:21 left in the second quarter, Ferrum again was on the board with a second Seth Deaton field goal from 17 yards out to make it 14-6. Mount then basically put the game away systematically with 6:07 in the second quarter.
Cooper in the slot on the far side. Out wide goes Sanders. Turner alone near side, out wide left. Man in motion is Cooper across the formation, keeping his Boudry. Zone read, right side numbers 10. Spins at the 5 and dives into the end zone. Noah Boudry, the junior quarterback, at 6 foot with an unbelievable show of athleticism in the opening field. And at the 6:07 mark of the second quarter, it's Mount 20 and Ferrum 6.
That was Boudry with a 12-yard run for the touchdown. Merrick added his third PAT, and it was 21-6. Final score of the first half with 1:55 left in the second quarter. Mount struck again.
Boudry with Williams to his left on the 3rd and goal from the 1. Boudry keeps and walks in. Down the left side, hashes a 1-yard scamper by Noah Boudry. Second rushing touchdown of the very young 2024 season for the junior quarterback. And it's Mount 27 and Ferrum 6 at the 1:55 mark of the second quarter.
Merrick again added the extra point, and at halftime it was 28-6 Mount. Then in a huge third quarter for Mount, they scored their first touchdown of 3 in the third quarter with 11:22 left.
Drew Sims checks back in for Mount on the 1st and goal at the Ferrum 2 on the left hashes. Cooper and Sanders wide right to the field. Turner to the boundary wide left. Pistol formation, handoff Echeverry. Echeverry dances his way into the end zone. In between the hashes and the numbers on the left side of the field, Tyler Echeverry finds the end zone for the second time this afternoon as Mount leads 34-6.
Merrick again added the extra point to make it 35-6. Then less than 3 minutes later, with 8:29 left in the third quarter, Mount struck yet again.
1st and goal at the Ferrum 5 in the pistol, going right to left. Handoff Williams. Now Boudry kept it. He juked and he went in. Between the numbers and the hash marks on the left side of the field again. And Noah Boudry, for the 3rd time in this game, finds the end zone, that time on a 5-yard touchdown run. 8:29, third quarter. Mount 41, Ferrum 6.
That completed a 3-play, 57-yard, 10-second drive. Merrick added another extra point. And finally, with 3:48 left in the third quarter, Mount scored their 3rd touchdown of the quarter.
2nd down and 6 for Mount on the Ferrum 12. Shotgun for Boudry, Sanders wide left. And off Thomas. No, he faked and had a man wide open. Middle of the field, and it's caught for a touchdown. Nick Turner, right over the middle of the field on a 12-yard touchdown pass. The fake by Boudry to Thomas was so good that I thought Thomas had the football. 3:48 in the third quarter, Mount 48, Ferrum 6.
That was possibly Boudry's best pass of the night. Merrick added his 7th extra point to make it 49-6. Mount then completed the scoring with 5:30 left in the fourth quarter. Sean Thomas rushed in from 3 yards out. Michael Franklin, backup kicker, failed the point after, and we had our final score of Mount Union 55 and Ferrum 6.
Quite an effort by the Purple Raiders. I won't say a wire-to-wire win because, of course, they did not lead the entire game, but about as close to a perfect effort as you will find by a team. And, of course, I'm sure Coach Dart and the rest of the team, as they head back to Alliance, as we will find a number of things that they can do to correct going into Game 2 just a couple weeks from now when they welcome in John Carroll. Mount Union is 1-0. George, great job today. Ryan Rainsberg back at the studio. Excellent job to our producer. Thanks to Gary Holden and the fantastic folks here at Ferrum, WB Adams Stadium. An absolute pleasure to call a game here, and thanks for the food, the hospitality, and so much more here. Really enjoyed this trip down to Virginia.
Yeah, they were just excellent hosts. Beautiful area. I gotta say, this is one of the more picturesque stadiums we've seen.
So for George, I'm John. Thanks to Ryan, our producer. Thanks to all of you for listening, and thanks, of course, to all of our sponsors that make this possible every single year. It's a final on AM 1310 WDPN on Q92 Sports Facebook and Q92's YouTube. Mount Union is 1-0 on the season with a dominant win over Ferrum, 55-6. We'll catch you again in a couple of weeks from Karis Stadium. Sam Berkman will be back on the call. Till then, have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.